Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
What is up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Hope y'all enjoying your weekend. I am your host, Shake Money, and we are going to be doing our Saturday night tailgate. We got a few people in the back. Let's see. We got my co-host, usually from the Smoke Lounge, mi hermano Luis. What's going on?
What it is?
If you know this guy from the morning, you got Ali and
I'll
Color.
I'll take the captain promotion, but thank you. How you doing?
Right?
Color, what's going on?
Dang, who's missing? I think we only got like one guy missing, right?
Yeah, and if you see this guy, it's usually past your bedtime. So the one, the only El Capitan. What's going on, brother?
That's right. Watch out now.
Oh my God!
That's right.
Man.
Here come the smoke, boys. Here come
This
the
truck
smoke.
is
Watch
full.
out.
You cannot get any more full on a truck. We are dropping the tailgate. We are opening the grill.
I am
Lewis
popping.
is-
I am
Lewis
popping
is
the top on
about
the
to be
keg
cooking
right
food.
now, boys.
Lewis got his apron ready to go, ready to be cooking folk.
Yeah.
boy.
El Capitan getting ready to butt chug from last night.
yeah.
By the way, I just want to show everybody Buffalo's window again.
Nice.
Oh man! If you guys missed it, last night's show was a banger, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen.
man, Jeez,
It was a banger.
Louise. It was crazy from top to bottom, bro. From top to bottom. I mean, wow. Show
What's
Let me
up,
give a shout
Mr.
out.
Dolphin cards? Shout out. To
Let me
you.
give a quick shout out to some of our affiliates, Fanatics official licensed gear. Of course, I don't have Color's voice, but at the same time, you know, we have jerseys, anything that's officially licensed. You make sure you use TFTG to make sure that they know we sent you. Of course, W Energy drink. This is my baby right here, Calio Cream. I had some this morning. Great stuff. Change of pace for the weekends because I drink coffee during the week, but on weekends I drink W Energy drink. We got Backroom Collections. Great artwork. Visors for your mini helmets. As a matter of fact, sometime next month, I'm going to live on this Saturday night. I'm going to be purchasing something from the Backroom Collection so you guys could see how easy it is. So I'll be doing that tutorial soon. And of course, with W Energy drinks, I'm doing out the sampler pack. So I am also going to be I'm also going to be doing more reviews on different flavors of the W Energy drink. And of course, if you use TFTG on both, you get 10% off your first purchase. And of course, starting next August, we have Ali and Color in the morning, myself and Lewis in the evening, and late night wrapping things up. You got El Capitan with the late night programming. I tell you what, man, this is going to be one hell of a football season for TFTG. What do you guys think?
Definitely. And before we really started getting into it, Shake, in spirit of top of the tailgate, you said during the week you're a coffee drinker. What type of coffee do you like to drink?
I drink that. Hold on, I'll give me a second.
Stay Cuban, Shake.
It better be Cuban coffee, man. I want to know what it is. I want to get
He's like, I drink
Ancestors are listening. The ancestors
Don't let
are
me
listening.
down, Shake. Don't let me down.
We have on top of the tailgate. We got
Costello.
on top of the tailgate. We have coffee of the week on Shake Money Show. We got coffee is money. So
Nice.
I want to know what he's drinking. I want to know.
It's gonna be Cafe Lavazza.
It better not be like Great Value. I swear to God.
It's gonna be Bustelo, Cafe Bustelo.
It's gonna be Bustelo. Yep,
Bustelo.
absolutely.
There's another Cuban one too. I think. I think there's 2 of them.
But anyway,
he's like, no, it's just Folgers.
No.
Oh man.
Listen, I've been married to practically married to a white lady, so I sold out years ago. This is what I drink: iced coffee.
Starbucks.
Damn. He's a fucking damn, dude. Did you go buy that on your golf cart too?
Oh my God!
Did you go buy that shit on your golf cart? I mean, just be done with it.
Were you wearing sandals when you bought them?
Yes, I told you I sold out years ago. What are you talking about?
Oh man!
Just move to San Francisco already and be done with it, bro.
Shake's one of those people. When he goes to Starbucks, he's like, "Yeah, I'll have the iced latte macchiato caramel with the foam." Actually,
2 pumps. 2 pumps.
Oh my God!
On the rocks.
Actually, I get the caramel ribbon crunch.
Thank
you very much,
Mike.
Caramel ribbon crunch.
All right, shout out to Dudfins or whatever name
you hear me?
find nowadays.
It's okay, but he's got a new name. No, we lost Ali there for a second.
I can hear Ali. Yeah.
It was just for a moment there.
Thank God.
MRI preferred customer.
That's some dirty shit right there. Please put a portion of this super chat to Tuna's next ER visit. Copay. Go Bills. I mean,
that's kind of wrong, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of wrong.
That's dirty, bro. That is dirty.
I mean,
it's about as dirty as you can get.
It's some nasty work, but it's fucking hilarious.
It is not.
It's
funny.
If that's funny, then somebody needs to donate $5 to Josh Allen's next visit to get an STD check from Succubus.
Whoa!
Oh, sucking off everybody else. So
we are starting early tonight.
Shots are fired, boys.
But before we get started, let's give us some shout outs, man. My man California knows how to party. California, first one in the building. Marino's GOAT, what's going on? Aquavision. Liz, and by the way, according to her, W, she puts it for her oatmeal. That's a good way to try it.
Wow, that's some jacked up ass oatmeal right there, boy. This is good ass oatmeal. I can't wait to get more.
Mark says, "Good evening. A quick now that the Dolphins have become a media favorite and are in the limelight. Are you concerned that they can meet the expectations?"
All right, here we go. The name where everybody aspires to be is a Dolphineer. Flavor J, what's going on? There you go. Michael K. I guess he must have changed his name mid-sentence. I guess. Danny Brown, Danny Barry Sports, what's up? Mike Cantina, what's going on, mi hermano? Future Dolphins card 17. We got IMAX in the building. The guy the guy that's on Lewis's menu, Fred Dunlap.
Yes, he is. He's
Benjamin
the first
Scott.
one he's going to be the first one in the community shake to get an apron. Signed, sealed, and delivered right to the homie Fred.
72 undefeated. V21. My man Cap for life. Can't forget my man Raphael Courtright. What's up, amigos? So anyway, and of course Liz, as I said, what's up?
Hey, you know what, Shake? Real quick before we get started, we had the honor and the privilege of talking to a gentleman that he's always around. Shout out to Marino's GOAT. But he popped in to a Twitter space the other day and came up and spoke to us. That was the first time
I gave him a shout out too long. I gave him a shout out yesterday.
Marino's GOAT, OG from the get.
Yeah.
Absolutely, bro. Shout out to Marino's GOAT, man. He hopped up and chopped it up. So shout out to him.
You know how we do every week? I do every week. I've been doing countdowns. I've been this is no different. So this week I'm doing top 10. I got 4 lists as usual. I got 2 top 10s and 2 top 20s. Okay, safeties. All right. Now I did something new last week and I want to do it again this week. Everybody around the room, can you guys give me 2 names that you think that's going to be a consensus on this list? I'm gonna go ahead and say Troy Polamalu and Ed Reed.
Oh, you're talking about safeties from way back when.
Yeah, this is an all safeties list.
Oh shit, Sean Alexander. Wasn't he's is that
No, that's a running back. Sean Taylor, you're probably thinking
Sean
about.
Taylor's who I'm thinking of. Yeah.
The two. He's gonna. You think it's gonna be consistent on the list?
Can we think? Can we do? What about corners that have been converted to safeties? Do those
or safety? Actually, it's usually safeties that been usually are converted to corner. I mean, corners that been converted. I don't know.
Well, I know one.
Rod Woodson.
I'm going to say is Rod Woodson. He was a corner converted safety. So,
I mean, Ronnie Lott comes to name. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I think I have two, but I know one of them is a Miami Dolphin. The other one, I'm not. I think he's a Denver Bronco. Jake Scott, who is a Miami Dolphin, and I believe he played in '72, but you could correct me.
Yes, he
on
did.
That.
He did.
Number 13.
Super Bowl MVP.
The only 13 is going to be Super Bowl MVP, unfortunately.
And the other one, and I think he played for the Broncos. Steve Atwater, I think it is.
Steve Atwater,
yeah, Atwater.
Yep.
Wow,
I mean, look,
Raphael even read my mind. I didn't even look at him. I wasn't even looking at it. Damn.
Ed Reed probably sits at the top. I mean, the way Ed Reed played safety was the way Zach Thomas played linebacker. They knew their opponents. They knew their opponents' coaches, their tendencies. They knew how to take the best coaches in the NFL and bait them.
Where the guy that Shake Money said, I believe he said Ed Reed, that's probably going to be a consensus, number one. And the other guy, Shake, said Troy Polamalu. I think those two guys are going to be battling for the number one spot in both of these, or all four of these lists. I mean, without a doubt.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, let's not forget about Ronnie Lott.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's who I said. Ronnie Lott was.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys.
Rod
in
Woodson is a freaking when he was crushing it.
He was one
back
of the
in
best.
those days. He was one of the best, dude. Ball hawk, one of the greats. So
I'm gonna go Ed Reed and Lewis Oliver. I know Big Nick's
Lewis Oliver is a good one. That is a good one.
That's a good one.
All right, so with no further ado, let's get to this is twinsports.com. All right, and here we go. Let's start with number 10. There's Darren Woodson. Number 9.
Woodson. Yep.
Yeah, Darren Woodson for the Cowboys.
Yep.
Number 9, Leroy Butler.
Number
Packers. 8. Yeah, Packers. That's what I was about to say.
Number 8, Rodney Harrison.
Yeah, Rodney Harrison was so good.
Well, who did he play for?
New Raiders, right?
The Patriots and the Chargers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, my bad. Okay, and Brian Dawkins is number 7.
That's a good one.
That's a good one too.
Philadelphia Eagles, right?
Yep. That's a good one.
Dude,
Number
he would
6 is
crack mofos, dog. Remember how he would always these safeties? The one thing that a lot of them got in common so far is that they would blow up a running back coming across the middle of the field or a wide receiver. They would just obliterate people. Continue, Shake.
1,000%.
All right, no problem. Number 6, Willie Wood.
Who that is?
Who?
He played for the Packers 1960 to 1971.
All I know, that sounds like a football name color to me. Willie Wood.
Oh, I'm telling you, man.
His name is Willie Lay the Wood,
Oh, Willie
and
Wood.
he will.
You know what I'm telling you, you know? He would if he could. And because that's old Willie Wood.
Will he lay the wood? And he does.
And when he's with his woman, his Willie turns into wood.
Willie Wood and Willie Should.
Number 5, Paul Kearse. Redskins, 1964 to 1967. Number 4, Ken Hudson. Oilers, 1967 to 1972, and the Redskins from 1973 to 1980.
Was that during Doc Brown's tenure around?
No,
that time?
Doc Brown played in the 80s and 90s, I believe.
I'm just busting with you because I hear Oilers. I gotta ask Doc.
Yeah, for sure.
Emmanuel Tunnel is number 3.
Who?
Eminel Tunnel. He played 1948 to 1958.
Oh, come on. Who wrote this list, bro? You're not impressing us with your intelligence, man. Nobody's ever heard these guys, man.
He was one of the
Can't
guys
even
that
find
wore one of the leather helmets, dude. I don't know those names.
All right. Ronnie Lott is number 2. All right.
Sammy Ball.
Okay.
Yeah, see Ronnie Lott at the top. Who number 1? Got to be Ed.
Ed Reed.
Jim Thorpe.
Rashad Jones.
Rashad Jones. All right. And the winner is El Capitan. It's Ed Reed.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, I thought you meant I was on the top of the list. I was like, hell yeah, that's right. God damn.
I got a question. Someone mentioned him in the chat. I saw the name. Do you think that it doesn't have to be top 10, but let's just say top 25? Is Pat Tillman on that list?
Oh, 100%.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Buddy was a
good football player who, and he was a service member and everything that happened and everything. So it's kind of like, could he have been even higher than just top 25? You know what I mean? That's why I was kind of inquiring.
Man, I will give you guys a name, and in my opinion, fuck the top 25. This guy should be in top 10.
Okay.
How about John Lynch? You want to talk about
I know, right? I know, right?
John Lynch should be in the top 10.
Tell us you grew up a Bucks fan without telling us you grew up a Bucks fan.
I did not. I did not. Actually, the whole time he played for Tampa, I was living down in South Florida. I was in Miami.
Oh, right. I'm kidding, Lewis. I'm just going to be watching you when we do the fullback list. I'm going to be watching you.
John Lynch he's in the Hall of Fame, right? Is he not?
He might be.
You know what? I think he is in the Hall of Fame.
He's one of these guys that might get in the Hall of Fame twice as a fucking GM. He might end up in there, dude, because that guy's drafting has been pretty damn good since he's gone to have control over there for San Francisco. He has kept that organization, where it's at least within striking distance. You know what I'm saying?
Color, I got a football name question for another safety that came to mind, and he played for the Patriots. Lawyer Malloy.
Oh, Lawyer Malloy he was a bad mother of a mofo, man. That dude was freaking it, bro. Lawyer Malloy, are you kidding me?
I like the name, so is it a football name?
Definitely a football name.
All right.
And particularly a safety's name.
Yeah.
So I found another top 20 list, Shake, and they have John Lynch at 17. Then they have Darren Woodson at 16.
Is it by Bleacher Report?
It is. Is that the one you're looking at?
Yeah.
Go ahead and read that one. That's a nice list there. We're gonna see where some of these guys that are getting left off the list.
Actually, usually Bleacher Report has been the worst list so far. Every time we read a Bleacher list.
Is that right?
Every time I hear the list, I go off, bro. So them in CBS Sports don't know what they're talking about.
Here we go. Number 20 is Joey Browner. Number 19, Cliff Harris. Number 18, Kenny Easel. Number 17, John Lynch. Number 16, Darren Woodson. Number 15, Donnie Shell. Number 14, Darren Sharper. Number 13, Brian Dawkins. Number 12, Jack Tatum.
Kind of low for Brian Dawkins, but okay, go ahead.
Number 11, Who's
Larry. Number 12? Sorry, Shake, I interrupted you. Who's number 12?
Jack Tatum.
Okay.
Number 11, Yale Larry. Number 10, Deron Sherry. Number 11, Willie Wood. Number 9, Willie Wood. Sorry.
Yeah, Willie Wood. He'd be showing up all over the joint.
Number
showing
8,
his wood everywhere.
Hell yeah. Flash mob. Ellerman Tunnel. Number 7, Ed Reed. Number 6, Stephen Atwater. Number 5, my man Troy Polamalu. Number 4, Larry Wilson. Number 3, Paul Kearse. Number 2, Ken Houston. And number 1, guess who the number 1 is, guys? Anybody guess? I know you know what it is, El Capitan, but the other guys.
I turned the list off before I got it. I wanted to be surprised. I'm not going to lie. I turned it off.
I don't know.
Rodney Harrison.
All right. Anybody? Nope. Take
Hold
another
on.
guess.
Number 1.
Ronnie Lott.
Correct.
That's the only one.
Yeah.
I could see Ronnie Lott, but they had Ed Reed at 9.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, bro.
No, 7, I
agree
think.
with that.
I told you this. Their lists are usually trash, bro.
Wow. They got 20 spots to fuck all that up, huh? Jeez Louise.
Well, am I wrong? On the first list, Troy Polamalu didn't even make the top 10?
Nope.
That's
ridiculous.
And
That
fucking
ridiculous.
yeah, I guess they probably
His
would
hair
put
should have been
Dion.
number 10 alone.
Sean
just
Taylor,
about
where
to
was
say-
he even at on that list?
I want to see
didn't make it.
Troy and Bob Sanders compare hair, man. Those guys had some really long hair.
Mm-hmm. Hey, by the way, shout out to Q who's in the building. Hey, Q, I already made the thumbnail. This Saturday, man, you and Wubeck are going to be here. We're going to be talking about football players of Samoan descent. We're going to break down, the Tua's tattoo and you know what I'm saying? We could try to get to know Tua Tagovailoa a little bit better, bro. So
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's going to be a great episode, man. Yes, yeah, man. I'm stoked as well, bro. So
we've been stoked talking about it all week. Can't wait.
Another really good name. I don't think he's top 25 talent, but I think he was a really good safety that comes to mind that I actually kind of liked. Malcolm Jenkins was okay.
All right. I got another. Yeah. I'm doing 2 more lists. So
all right, let's hear
Dolphin,
it.
Dolphin near with Earl Thomas.
Ooh,
that's a good one.
That is a really good one, actually.
This is another 20 list. So
yeah, but that defense was so stout. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like he gets lost in the shuffle of how amazing he was in that those early wins and shit, man.
So y'all ready for this list? This is 20.
Do it.
So
yeah.
Number 20, Sean Taylor.
At least he's on the list.
Yeah, this list. I've done lists from Franchise Sports, and they do a pretty good job on their list. Right. No lie. Number 19 is Rodney Harrison. Number 18 is Cam Chancellor. Number 17 is Leroy Butler. 16 is Darren Woodson. 15 is Donnie Shell. 14 is Eric Berry. 13 is John Lynch.
Eric Berry's one that gets lost. He was good as fuck, boy.
We got John Lynch again. That's good.
13.
Yeah, John Lynch is on the list. This is a good list. Continue, Shay.
Yo, Larry. Deron Cherry. Number 10. Here we go. What you got? So that's the 20. So we're at 10 now. Steve Atwater.
Right. Okay.
Larry Wilson.
Okay.
8 is Brian Dawkins. 7, Ken Houston. 6, Troy Polamalu. 5, Willie Wood. 4,
Willie Wood all up in this biz. This guy.
Yeah, he putting his wood all over the place. Element Tunnel is 4. 3 is Paul Curse. Number 2 is Ed Reed. And number 1, can anybody guess?
Ronnie Lott.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah. I don't like the only thing I don't like about this list. I liked everything up until Polamalu is not in the top 5. He has to be in the top 5 in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's
right.
I would say Polamalu in the playoffs is most certainly, and in big games, top 5, but down in and down out, maybe not. You know, maybe that's where it's getting.
I'll agree to
lost
disagree. I just think that
listen, in those playoff games, that guy was just amazing. Like he was amazing.
He was amazing, and in my opinion, at times, I think at the safety position, he outperformed what his projections were.
Let's
coming
be real,
from college
100%.
and whatnot. So,
everybody agree with that.
For me, I think he deserves to be in that discussion at least be in the discussion. So.
Go ahead, Shake.
All right, this is the last list. All right, here we go. This is the New Era Arena Sports. This is the list by New Arena. And we start off with Carnell Lake at number 25. Rodney Harrison at 24.
Whoa, that's a little low for Rodney.
23 is Eric Weddle. 22, Earl Thomas. 21, Paul Curse. God damn, he has the mighty fallen. 20, Cliff Harris. Number 19, Kenny Easel. Number 18, Yale Larry. Number 17, Leroy Butler. Number, holy shit, you should see these helmets they're wearing. Jack Christensen. Number 15, Joy Browner. Number 14, Cam Chancellor. Number 13, Jack Tatum. Number 12, Eric Berry. Number 11, Donnie Shell. Number 10, Elam Tunnel. Number 9, Willie Wood. Number 8, Ken Houston. Number 7, Larry Wilson. Number 6, Steve Atwater. Number 5, John Lynch. Number 4, Brian Dawkins. Number 3, Troy Polamalu. Number 2, Ed Reed. And, of course,
Ronnie
number
Lott.
1. Yep.
Lott.
So, damn, he's been the...
I like this list a little bit, except there were some questionables, like the Harrison one being
the
really low.
Dawkins over Lynch.
Yeah, that was
high up, too. Not that he's not great, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever. It's all very subjective if you want to be real.
Yeah.
And can we stop adding these players that played before it was even legal to throw the ball? I mean, geez, man.
Yeah, I don't know if the guy from 1960 is going to hold up.
Or the guy from 1948. It's like, really? Would
I
they
gotta
pass
read the
like
news
3 times a game or something?
I got to read the newspaper to find out what that guy did.
Oh, he's got 100% lockdown rate. Yeah, he freaking defended the 3 whole passes of the game.
He led the league with 1 interception a season.
Right.
He averaged 1.5 interceptions a year in his career. He was the best of his age.
Oh, man. So before we open up the panel, anybody out? Any guy? Before we open up the floodgates, anybody? Anything?
So,
are you going to do a cornerback list?
Yeah, of course.
Like CB?
I'm gonna do corner. I'm gonna do corners. Then after I do cornerbacks, I'm gonna do.
I already got my name dropped.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do quarterback after that, and then, like I said, I'm gonna do the players of. I'm gonna celebrate the players of the Dolphins of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I'm gonna do like a 3-part episode on that. So that's coming soon.
Cool.
And then, of course, after that, then we got Late Night Exhale again.
I already got my make me look intelligent name drop for the cornerback room.
Color's got somebody crazy.
Yeah, y'all ain't even gonna see him coming. Y'all are gonna be like, man, I forgot about that guy. How come nobody talks about that guy?
I can't wait for that. That's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
What's next?
What's
this
next?
Saturday coming is the Samoan
NFL
descent. Yeah.
players,
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's the next one. Good.
Yeah. By the way, just this Monday on the Smoke Lounge with Lewis and myself, we're gonna have Dr. Reginald Brown, and we're gonna break down the wide receiver room. And then on Wednesday,
that's freaking awesome, bro.
Yeah, and on Wednesday we're gonna have, I guess they're doing a new Dolphins channel. The West Coast Dolphins fan club, Papa Paul, and his co-host, I forgot what his name was right now. Hold on.
They're gonna be hosting this on Wednesday. What day were they hosting this?
This Wednesday. They're usually they're doing Wednesday night after our show. So we're gonna have them on Wednesday. Winters. Yeah, Winters is gonna be on there.
Oh, Winters that was on here the other night. He was cool as fuck.
Yeah, he's gonna be on there. So
I like.
And of course, Nick.
Dolphin Winters is pretty cool.
Dolphin Winters, and then Big Nick is gonna be on here as well. So
I love Big Nick. Big Nick make me laugh. There he is. Reed and Taylor better. Big Nick always make me laugh. I
just
got
said
something.
Lewis Oliver. I just said Lewis Oliver to make Big Nick laugh.
I got something. Look, Raph is saying Noah. What's up? Where's Noah on this list?
Noah's a corner.
Yeah, he's
Should
right
be
here,
a
bro.
Safety.
I'll tell you where Noah is. Right there, Noah's Ark.
Right there on his boat. Yep.
And by the way,
He's out there polyurethane in that thing, man.
He need to get some tongue oil and get that bitch looking right so he can actually do some shit. Fuck around.
Can we do this? Can we do this shirt on the merch store? And then
I'm sure if you send that to fucking HP, he'll make a Noah's Ark shirt for you, dog. That's the whole.
And by the way, his new name. I found on last Wednesday. I had my man Ty Bless in the blender. And that day I came up with Noah's new nickname. Noah Him Bignogany. Noah Him Bignogany.
Noah Him Monogamy. Oh my gosh.
That's his name.
I like that. It's just funny as hell. I like that. That's funny. All right. So
I call him by his real name, Noah Him Bignogany.
Yeah, that's his Christian name.
Wow.
That's his Christian name. So I got something. Lewis, I was with Lou earlier in the day on Twitter, just burning some time, and
I'm sure that wasn't the only thing y'all were burning.
Mm-hmm.
We were burning time, Color. Don't implicate me in your bullshit.
Don't put that on me, Color.
Don't put that shit on me, Color.
Don't put it on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, don't put that dirty on me. You take that voodoo back. Anyhow, there was some good conversations happening, and shout out to Ennis because I was trying to link up with him yesterday, but I gotta chop it up with him a little bit on Twitter today. He had brought up a really great question, and I'll tell you what his answer is because he's not here. But he had said, "What defensive player take a step forward on this team that could change the whole deal on defense?" And I mean, I have my guy that I think. What do you got? I want to pose this question to the panel, and then I'll tell you what Ennis said because I don't think anyone's going to say what Ennis said. And he really kind of dropped a nice take with that. I want to give him some props because I was like, damn. So go ahead, Color. You go first. What defensive? Ooh, Cater Kahoo.
Mm-hmm.
If he takes even a bigger step forward, what would that even look like at this point?
Fundamentally was the best tackler on our team last year.
Okay, got me on that.
And that is an indictment on the linebacker room. But yeah, I really, really like Cater's fundamentals. I think he is a raw football player.
But what kind of play? Like when I look at Cater Kahoo, if he were to take a step forward that warrants him being a full-time snap taker,
it could really put us into some first world issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like think about what you're talking here in a DB room that is. I don't think we've ever seen a top to bottom DB room that looks like what we got going on in this season, boys. I'm not gonna lie. We got two lockdown corners on the edges that, one can really play great inside the box and blitzing off the edge. But I don't think anybody would think that Xavier Howard can't pop off and sit as a single high safety and not whip everybody's ass from that position either. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So just on those two dudes alone demanding the snap count. Now you got Trill Williams, who up until a point when he got injured looked like a guy where his trajectory was pointing straight up, along with the multiplicity and game snaps of Nick Needham being on this team. Then the second rounder, Cam Smith. Like Cater Kahoo, if he takes a step up and can shine in that room, because right now, a guy like Cater Kahoo's story could go where he fizzles out. Just lost in the shuffle with guys who've been here longer. The rookie coming in with, how that works. You want to kind of get that rookie rolling if you can. And not that Cater Kahoo hasn't played lights out. It's a really great point. What do you think on that, guys?
Yeah, I like the pick of code. That's another name. Just like to your point, Cap, what Ennis said earlier, I didn't think no one thought of that name. I wasn't thinking about Cater Code, so that was a good pick. Color.
That was a good one too. I wasn't thinking about Kahoo.
I mean, what a guy like that taking the next step, what that could do for our secondary with guys like Ramsey you know, on the corner.
That's the best secondary in the NFL.
Oh
Color.
my God, bro.
That's the best secondary in the motherfucking NFL. If Kader Kahu rises up as a guy that can be noticed with Ramsey and Howard on the field, that's the best secondary in the NFL.
I'm telling you, first world issues, baby.
That's high dollar problems right there that I can really deal with. Shake, what do you think on the Kader Kahu take?
All right, check this out. And being that I'm a Gator, I'm saying this because, again, I've said this before. What you guys do on Saturday, I don't care about anymore when it comes to Sundays. You know what I'm saying? And my player is going to definitely be Jalen Phillips because at the end of the day, if he improves, listen, if he could not only make quarterbacks do ill-advised passes, we have the secondary that's going to take advantage of those ill-advised passes. He also, hopefully, he'll be able to take his coverage game to the next level. So I'm hoping that improves as well.
So I am in full agreement with you, Shake. My guy that I picked in this conversation was Jalen Phillips too. And for reasons that if he just lives up to his potential, much less taking a step forward, because it looked like a lot to me last year that Phillips was there, but it was almost like he was so fast to it. There's still those times where he's like shocked that, oh my God, I burned the hell out of this guy. I'm right on top, like almost like he missed a step there. Once he finds the sweet spot in the bat, he's going to be knocking home runs. And if he can solidify himself, I hear you out the pass game, especially, dropping into that off zone spot to literally be the guy where the quarterback just doesn't account for. And he's able to defend tight ends and running backs sitting in that flat zone. And he's got all the length in the world to defend it. And we've seen him being used in that manner too. If he can be a guy in that, yes. But to me, the real thing is that if he becomes that pass rusher, I think his body type, speed, and strength can be. We're looking at a 10+ sack guy that can be an absolute game record. That's who I thought too.
By the way, shout out to the homie Canes89 who's saluting everybody on the panel. What's going on, Canes?
What up, Canes?
And I agree with both y'all's takes. I just didn't. I mean, I figured if we were just going to have a discussion about Jalen Phillips,
no, you're good.
As well just make it. You know what I mean?
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything y'all are saying. You know what I mean?
The one thing I want to add about him improving his coverage, the thing about it is if he improves his coverage game, now the quarterback doesn't know what the hell he's going to do. Is he going to blitz me? Is he going to go back into coverage? That adds
into the hybrid king.
Yeah. It's gonna fuck with the quarterback because now you got to if he doesn't know how to pass coverage, you be like, okay, I don't have nothing to worry about with this guy. He's just gonna blitz me. But now you gotta second guess what the hell he's gonna do at all times.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna sit at home.
It's like bacon and
wait
pizza.
For you to come back across the field.
See, it's like bacon and pizza. Bacon beats out pizza because you can put bacon on pizza. And so I would say the same thing about Kader Kahoot. Like, Kader Kahoot beats out Phillips because if Kader Kahoot takes a step up, Phillips increases his sacks by way of coverage sacks.
See, now Color's I could say the Kader Kahoot comes to fruition because of the sacks, because the time and the pressure and ill-advised throws. Shit, they might be a couple of ducks laying out there because of Jalen Phillips getting his hands up with that long ass body
or
of his.
or that fingertip miss that we saw all year becomes a sack.
That's right. He had a lot of those. Lou, what was your pick in the guy?
I said earlier, and again, he's more of a veteran, but he had a down year last year, and I think it was more so to do with injuries. From a defensive perspective, when you listen to him, I said Xavier Howard. I think Xavier Howard has a bounce back year in the aspect of under Vic Fangio, and these are the words that came out of Xavier Howard's mouth. I'm not running with like chasing receivers anymore. The ball, he's getting to see the ball under Vic Fangio. The eyes never leave the quarterback in Vic Fangio's system. In other systems, he's chasing, he's playing man-to-man. The ball is towards his back. I just think with the ball hawking skills, the way he attacks the ball, now he's going to be more reading and reacting to it instead of chasing and reacting to it. I think Xavier Howard has the biggest impact this year from a defensive side. That was
so
my
you
guy.
could almost literally put a little money on that, because I mean, think about it. It's not out of the realm of possibility that Xavier Howard, shows up and shows out, and if he even returns to, I mean, bro, think about it right now. He finds the way to get 8-9 turnovers with fumbles, stripping the ball. You guys, a lot of people forget it ain't just the interceptions that man found. He would strip a ball. He would attack a football in a way sometimes. A lot of these guys they practiced a lot of that. I think Fangio is going to get back to the, hey, these guys are getting across. You attack this football, and I want to see everybody attacking it. He figures a way to get 8 or more. I mean, that's just a waterfall effect that's going to change not just the defense, but the team. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a real great point too. Ali, defensive guys taking the step forward that could really just change the deal. Kohu for color. Shake and I picked Jalen Phillips. Lou has Xavier Howard, getting back to top 10 status. Xavier Howard, turning footballs over all day. What that waterfall effect's going to do on a team. What do you think?
All right, so you've already said Jalen Phillips, right? I know
That's
Lewis said Xavier Howard. Was there anybody else that was selected?
Kader Kahu.
Kader Kahu. Yeah, obviously Kader Kahu is going to do better, but I'm going to do one better. And it was the man that Vic Fangio himself got on the phone and said, baby, I need you back. You're not going anywhere. Andrew Van Ginkel is going to blow up.
Release the gink. Release the gink.
And
release the gink.
I'm going to tell you straight up, this is going to happen. Listen. I'm gonna go out of my way and say this, and I know I'm gonna get heat for it, but I'm gonna tell you, last season, this defense lost the dog. They didn't have the dog in them to play defense. That's why we didn't get those sacks. You're not going to see that this season. As Color said, you ain't going to see those fingertip misses like you've seen before. You're going to see Jalen Phillips get nasty. You're going to see Ogba get nasty. You're going to see Christian Wilkins and maybe Seiler, or at least one of the two, getting nasty. Even Raekwon Davis can get in on the action, right? But on the linebacker side, I think Vic Fangio is probably all up in Andrew Van Ginkel's ear saying, man, I need you to carry this linebacker core. I need you all over the place like a madman out of hell. And it's going to be like a Mad Max episode, watching people getting killed everywhere by Andrew Van Ginkel. There, I went on my rant. Did I lose you guys?
No, didn't lose me. I love AVG. I really think, as far as the tackling machine, blowing up running backs, creating even fumbles, through just impact, or blowing up holes and just stalemating drives, forcing them to pass on us in long situations. Because a middle linebacker steps up and says, "This is my cake to eat, bitches." And if it's AVG, you'll get zero pushback from me on that, because I love the fucking guy. I think he's awesome. I'm actually texting HB right now, about something I've been having an idea.
I mean, for me, there's going to be players that break out all up and around this defense. Let's be real. Right. I think Xavier Howard is going to have like one of the best seasons he's had in a long time, because what Vic Fangio does, more so than other coaches, he puts pretty much everybody in the best position to be successful. Everybody across the board. And I really think that our front, people are saying, Lewis said this all last season, off season, I would say, about our defensive line. Where's the organic pressure coming from? Remember, we had these discussions, Lewis?
Yeah, a lot of that.
You said you didn't know where it was going to come from. Well, I think it's there. It's just that They need to find it within themselves, and I think Vic Fangio is going to scare the shit out of them so that that dog comes out. You know what I mean? That's my prediction. I don't know what you guys think. Lewis, Color.
Hold on, sorry, I'm just texting.
I mean, good take.
You got no
came off
argument.
the top rope.
Listen, I love
with
AVG.
AVG, bro. I don't know what to say,
You'll get
man.
zero pushback from everybody around yonder, dog, because the guy, everybody loves him, and I don't know.
Yeah, like Estefan says, long hair, don't care. It don't matter. Long hair and all with your hands in the air, wave them around like you just don't care. AVG is going to get him some. That's right. He's going to get him some. That's basically my thoughts.
Great picks. I think everybody had it. But the great point of this conversation, Lou, you were there. Who did he say? Who did Ennis say? It was a great pick.
Christian Wilkins.
No. Lou might not be there. He said Raekwon Davis.
That's true.
I was like, damn. Because think about it. Fangio's scheme, a lot of zero tech play. You know what I'm saying? When I think of Fangio with the Dolphins and him talking about his new stuff, I think of more of a 4-man front, especially just how we're currently constructed. You know what I'm saying? Like we can put 4 big dudes on the front of this line that have speed and versatility that can be unmatched. But if some way, somehow, Raekwon Davis solidifies himself as that zero tech guy where they can come out of the 3-4 formation, it's going to be crazy if he can step up. It's a contract year. There's no reason to think he can't. But Raekwon Davis, sneaky thing. Because right now, kind of not thinking about Raekwon so much. You know what I'm saying? If he's the guy that steps up and makes a solidified big-time impact on this defense, it could probably have the most profound effect on the defense because it's something we don't even know how it could affect with Fangio's new scheme being implemented. It was a great take, I thought.
I mean, yeah, I think Raekwon Davis definitely can break out this season. Have we heard what the reports are about his body and health condition? Like how is he? Is he 100% now?
He's 100% and he looks 110%. But he always 110%. Has.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who it is on this defense. I think Vic Fangio can and will put them in the position to really succeed. And you will see breakouts all over this defense. Even Trill Williams, who I've been rooting for, and he's shown just enough promise to actually make me believe, but then getting injured. I think Trill Williams is going to have a breakout season also on this team. There's some negative comments about Vic Fangio saying he's overrated in the chat.
Yeah, I see it.
You can say that all you want, but the truth is, every other team he's coached on, he's had a top 5 defense, bro.
Yeah,
without a doubt. And you cannot say that's overrated. That shows consistency.
And let's be real, has he had defense. Talent up and down like he's gonna have here with the Dolphins? I mean, let's be real.
If you really break it down, outside of Denver's finished product that he had before he left there, outside of that, every team he's been, he hasn't had all this talent all up front. They had to build into it. But up front, he's never had this much talent. So just imagine how quickly he can get us there. That's what I'm talking about.
So J.R. Black says something that I think everybody can agree on when we're talking about AVG. You know, just have a high football intelligence, knows where to be on the field. Plus, he's a hard worker. You can't lose with a smart, hardworking players, man. That's just it, dude. And you know, if he's the guy because everyone else is doing their jobs on the line and on the back end and coverage, a lot of that allows linebackers to just show up and show out. Like if you're a linebacker and you're playing, you know, off ball linebacker, so you're middle linebacker, and sometimes you'll have, you know, a Sam or a Will with you depending on the formation. So there's only 2 of you. But if you know, hey, on this play, I've got these gaps covered. I've got, you know, this coverage in my back end. And depending on what happens with a running back or a tight end in their formation, that guy may be who I'm supposed to cover. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But sometimes as a middle linebacker, you can take a guess or just know through great film play that this ain't one of those times. I know the tendencies of this tight end. If he kicks his right foot inside to start blocking, he ain't going to pivot and try to run a route. He just don't do that. You can study this thing. And if a linebacker knows that that's what's going to happen as soon as the ball snap, he can then find an open gap and blitz right up the gut and blow quarterbacks up. And if he starts doing some shit like that, forget about it, dude. It's over. Oh, yeah. It 100%. Is fucking over. Now, great. Now, with big risks like that at the linebacker unit, if you don't do it right or you do wrong, now where you just left all on your own to go make what you were like, I'm going to get this sack, and you got caught peeking and they hit the flat over you and somebody's coming rolling out and you ain't there, now your ass is in deep trouble. But if you guess right and study right, you can really kill it, you know. And shout out to Michael K. Obviously, Tuna isn't smart. 13 Wonderlike score. Mic drop from MRI preferred customer. Jeez. You know, I think he likes to change the name of these all the time, so we have to read it when he does a super chat. That's like his bit right now. So, yeah, Shake, I thought that was a good conversation. I mean, you go up the panel.
At least it's funny. At least it's funny.
Yeah, at least he gets the humor. At least he gets the humor of it.
You gotta be good at something if you can't win Super Bowls.
Exactly.
Just kidding, bro. Just kidding.
All right, y'all ready for the floodgates?
Yeah. Open up the nasty.
Burst it open.
All right, here we go.
Here, I'll go ahead and pin it to the top of the page so you don't have to post it 100 million times. Shake. Boom.
That's all good.
Done and done.
Beautimus.
Done and done. Beautimus. It's one of the best. Looky here. Todd strolling in. What up, Todd? You got it, Shake? My fault.
Yeah. I got it. And by the way, this next guest, again, it's on Lewis. He's the best seller on Lewis's menu, Fred Dunlap.
By the way, you took my guy. I posted in chat before you even came up with AVG at middle linebacker.
I love me some AVG.
But I would say, I would go as far as say one more player might be all pro this year.
Who?
I could see Devon Holland bouncing back with this, with the way Evangio is with safeties and making them all pro this year.
Damn.
Breaking news, guys. Breaking news. Breaking freaking news. I am so happy that I was able to break this news now while Michael K is in the comments. I just got word the NFL is going through every division asking every team to submit photos of them holding their Super Bowl trophy. So far, they've got commitments from the Jets, they got commitments from the Patriots, and we just committed ourselves the Dolphins. We've been trying to get a hold of the Buffalo Bills. We've been trying to get a hold of the Buffalo Bills so they can submit their picture of their trophies or trophy, so we can get this, so we can represent the NFL, the AFC East. So we need Buffalo to please get in contact with the appropriate representatives to submit their pictures of their Super Bowl.
Stop
trophy.
hiding. Damn.
Damn. You know what's even crazier? The Dolphins have to use both hands are going to be double fisting Super Bowls as well.
And by the way, shout out to Michael K. He just pointed out that the Bills can't spell trophy case right.
They got the Madden cover in there. Look, Michael K's fighting back. Tuna loves butt chugs. Tuna says he's wide open. Jesus Christ, this fucking guy.
What's up, Shake, everybody?
What up?
Hey, Michael K, you like doing super chats, man.
What's up, Fred?
I need you to subscribe to Big Nick South Florida Accountability, and I'll start going live a lot. You can troll too all you want over there.
You guys, I like to. I also I'm gonna go with Lewis on this, and the player I'd like to see step up, man, would be Raekwon Davis, man. I think.
Well, that was Ennis's take. Ennis, what's happening, buddy? Appreciate you jumping on. You asked a question on Twitter earlier, and about which defensive player y'all think would be like sneaky, super impactful, like change the face of the defense. Color had said Kader Kohu, which I thought was pretty good. I picked Jalen Phillips. Shake picked Jalen Phillips. Lou picked who did Lou pick again?
Xavier Howard.
Xavier Howard. That's right. That's right. And then Ali said Andrew Van Ginkel. So, but I told him your take, man. Raekwon Davis with the really Fangio shit, like that is a fucking good ass take.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Now,
Raekwon, I'm looking for. I need 5 sacks out of Raekwon this year, man.
Ooh, damn.
The reason why I say sleeper, because I expect Cater, X, and Phillips to do what they gonna do. We don't know what Raekwon's gonna do because we haven't seen it.
That's exactly the point I was trying to get across. That's why it's the sneakiest pick. Like, if these guys do great, they're gonna do great. We know that. But if Raekwon just shows up out of the blue,
it'll be a big plus.
It'll be a game wrecker, Ennis.
Yeah, so I'm going to give a number.
Top 3 defense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give a number, but it's not a player, but it is a number. And the number is 50. And that's combined sacks for the team. And I think that'll be the biggest improvement.
50 combined sacks, though.
Bro, I got mine. And I think our biggest X factor in this defense is going to be Bradley Chubb. And the reason why I say that is because by himself, he creates constant disruption around the edge. He's a variety of pass moves. He chop blocks. He does swim moves, bull rush. Like, bro, his impact is felt on this defense that it allows Jalen Phillips to get more one-on-ones. Christian Wilkins to get more one-on-ones and be more impactful on the defense. And I think it's going to help the DBs, being able to guard guys on an island and being able to have their own responsibilities and not having so much, I think, having guys that are good in coverage, especially that we're going to be using a man zone scheme. I think that's going to help the pass rush because they're going to be able to handle their guys and it's going to help the quarterback a lot easier to get to the court. The ends to get to the quarterback a lot easier. But bro, if anything, watch this film breakdown by Ryder McConville. He did a whole breakdown on what's his face, Bradley Chubb, and I think Chubb, just his ability to get to the quarterback and be disruptive and break the quarterback's pocket and cause him to step up. I think that's where this defense is going to feast, and it's going to allow
guys I want you to think of something. Listen to how many names we mentioned, how much talent we have on this defense.
Yeah, I don't see 50.
I
don't see 50 sacks.
We got a top 3 team.
I don't see 50 sacks. I see 40 and more turnovers.
I kind of agree with Ennis on that. Yeah.
If you say 50 sacks, that means Phillips and Chubb have to get 15. That's 30. Where the other 20 coming from?
Well, okay, that's easy. Ogba's still on the team.
Okay, but he's gonna be rotational.
4 and 7 this year. Van Ginkel can get you between 4 and 7 this year. I mean, the production and the players are there. 50 is not a high number for sacks. But let me push back.
But what you're missing, Ogba's not going to be getting as many snaps as he was getting the first year. This defense is different.
That's understandable.
And our depth at defensive end, he's going to be rotating with guys. With Sealer, them guys are going to be rotating. So that sack total is not going to be as high.
But I also see Ogba getting between 48 to 51% of the snaps, though.
Okay.
I have to agree with Nick, man. I'd say, man, if there was a player on this defensive line, man, that can beat their guy 1-on-1, man. I think Ogba's definitely one of them, man.
But
He's been doing that his whole career, man.
To the Jalen Phillips and the Bradley Chubb, I think it's the reverse, actually. I think it's Jalen Phillips who's going to allow Bradley Chubb. When Bradley Chubb was traded to the Miami Dolphins, I think he was number 3. I think he was number 3 in the NFL in quarterback pressures or quarterback win rate. One of those stats. He was number 3. By the end of the season, Jalen Phillips, I believe, finished at number 2, and Bradley Chubb finished at number 5. This kid, Jalen Phillips, is special.
Well,
I understand that, but Fangio doesn't blitz like Warrior and Flo. You have to understand the scheme that we're about to be playing as well.
But what are you talking about blitzing? Where's blitzing coming from?
That's okay. If we was blitzing and we didn't get 50 sacks, what's going to transpire now for a non-blitzing
we didn't have
coach?
the secondary we had this year. We didn't have our secondary. I mean, a lot of
even when we had our secondary healthy, we never got 50 sacks.
Big Nick, real quick, Big Nick.
I'm years ago, I think we were like number 2 in the league with sacks, and it was over 50.
Yeah, Big Nick, real quick. I'm sorry. I just want to comment on this real quick. I'm going to agree with Ennis, and I'll tell you why. If you go back and look at the defensive schemes he's run in the past top 5 defenses that he's coached, it really wasn't about the most pressure. Those defenses took advantage of turnovers, and that's why I agree with him. We're going to have a lot more interceptions, a lot more turnovers that we're going to create and take advantage of, and that's what makes this defense kind of.
Why I don't think you're disagreeing with me, Ali. I just don't. No disrespect. I don't think you're listening to your own response. Pressures increase the probability of turnovers. And Jalen Phillips was number 2 in the NFL last year in quarterback pressures.
But you're facing a defense that allows you to do check down. Fangio defense keeps everything in front, so the check downs are going to be there. That's what we're trying to take. It's bend don't break.
The check down doesn't apply to the check down doesn't apply to the outside rush linebackers. It don't. Their job
what does the pressure matter if he gets rid of the ball quick to the flats?
Their job in Fangio's defense, their number 1 job isn't even outside containment. It's see quarterback, go get quarterback.
All right.
Yeah, but it all depends if our pass rushers are able to stay disciplined and not get out of their rush lanes. Because that's how we got beat by a lot of mobile quarterbacks. Because they got out of the rush lanes, were undisciplined, and they just, they broke off and they were able to extend plays with their feet, et cetera, et cetera.
Honestly, you know what it comes down to? If Ennis is right and Raekwon comes out playing, because if we force them into 3rd and longs where there's passing down, that's when you're going to pin your ears back.
Yeah.
See, but the mobile last year with the scrambling quarterbacks, that's a little bit of a red herring because the Dolphins' Achilles heel for the last 10 years has been tight ends and mobile quarterbacks. So that is something that's been happening whether we've had what we thought to be a good defense or not. We have problems with mobile quarterbacks. Hopefully that can be fixed now.
Well, I know real quick, gentlemen, I'm not trying to take it off the defense, but I got to handle something with my job real quick. I'll probably be gone for the next 15 to 20 minutes.
Hey, Louis, be safe, man.
Well,
anybody mad at you?
well, hold on real quick. Come on, Fred. You already know better than that.
No, Lou. Go ahead, Lou. Go ahead, Lou. Do what you got to do, bro.
but I think Ennis had a great question. That's what we're all talking about now from the Twitter side. Let's do the same exercise, right? Who has to take the next step or the biggest step in their opinion? But let's do the offensive side of the ball. And because I'm going to sit back, even when I'm doing stuff, I'm going to sit back and listen. I'm going to give you mine before I get out of here, right? If you guys want to continue the defense, that's fine. I just wanted to see if we could do this exercise on the offensive side of the ball too. For me, right, it's Austin Jackson. I think last year I think last year we all heard the rumblings out of OTAs. He was doing pretty well, performing pretty well, OTAs, preseason, etc. Even week 1 is a great point by Ennis earlier, again in Twitter, saying he was in the building for the New England games. I know Color was also there. A lot of big runs came from Austin Jackson's side. He was just playing well. I think if Austin Jackson, and again, look at this season, whether you like him or not, or whether you think he's trash or not, we always got to give players the benefit of the doubt. That's what we do with Tua. We do it with everybody else. You can tell the work that Austin Jackson has done to his body. He looks like he's in great shape. I think for me, that's the guy I would want to see take another step in the offense. Because if Austin Jackson can hit, right, this season, your blind side is absolutely protected for Tua. And now I think a lot of problems for the fan base is offensive line, especially right tackle. And I'm just saying, for me, if Austin Jackson can pan out, that's the guy that I would like to see take another step in the offense. But I'll leave you guys with that. You know what I mean?
Well, before Ali steals mine, as he always seems to do.
Man, great minds think alike. I can't help it. Go ahead.
On offense, I'm not going to say a player. I'm going to say McDaniel with his coaching, with calling more runs, calling more, sticking with what's working. If we're running the ball effectively, keep running it.
Todd, I kid you not, that was going to be my pick, so you did a good job. Because I can't. Austin Jackson obviously is the biggest improvement we need. Yeah. Outside of that, the only thing I could critique really is the play calling, specifically when we like after Tua would make a big play, big pass play, and either Jalen or Tyreek caught the ball and ran for 20 yards, whatever it may be. We tend to call a running play and we would not fumble the ball, but we would fumble the play and have to waste timeouts, and we just couldn't get back into gear. You know what I mean? And I think there needs to see improvement in that area, and I agree with you 100%.
I just couldn't do that to a first time head coach, but I get it.
I hear you. I mean,
yeah.
I already know what color.
I'm not saying you did it. I'm not saying you was terrible. I'm just saying. That's the one place I just see some improvement.
He was inexperienced. He was inexperienced. It's okay to say that about your coach. He was inexperienced.
I mean, look what he did his first year, bro. I mean, what they were 11th in scoring, 9th in yards. Like he was top 6 overall on offense. I mean,
yeah, I agree. He
that's
did
pretty
great.
impressive in his first year.
100%.
But I agree with you 100%.
But on an objective part, like critiquing,
right?
That's the only thing I can critique. That would be the only thing.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. Hey, you got to get better. Time management, play calling, especially situational play calling. You got to be aware of the clock, like, bro. You got to be aware, bro. Like, you got to be aware you're strong.
You can't hesitate on that red.
And 2-minute offense got to get a bit better too.
If you're gonna throw the challenge flag, throw it. Don't be sitting up there hesitating 20 times. Throw it if you're gonna throw it.
But like you said, it's the first year coaching. So it's like you said, Big Nick, like first year coaching, this is his sophomore season, so he should be able to have more time. This is really his second full off season as a head coach. Like everything was happening at like high speed, it's very hard for him to process everything going on at the same time. In his first year now, everything is settled now, and it's his second off season, second OTA, second mini camp. I think he's gonna have a firmer grasp in terms of like not only the scheme, but also just the general nature of being a head coach and managing a locker room and things of that nature. So I think he's gonna be a lot better, bro.
But you don't know what that this is your first year trying shit out. Throw that goddamn flag.
Yeah.
But
not only for that, and
you don't know what you're good at.
It's also for the players as well.
Yeah,
Don't Tyreek Waddle, like
he would have it in his hand. He would have it in his hand about to flick it and stop. Like he did that like 10 times. Like throw the shit, man. Throw it. Fuck it. Throw it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the way, if I have to pick somebody on offense, I'm gonna go ahead and say Durham Smythe. Durham Smythe is gonna. I think he's gonna like that. He's gonna help. He's not gonna be a big home run hitter, but at the same time, I think he's gonna help Tua underneath and help him get 3 or 4 yards and make it third and manageable.
Ennis was trying to say something. Go ahead, Ennis. I wanted to hear what you had to say.
I was just saying, like, you don't know what you're good at until you try. Like we was loving Flo when he was winning the challenge flag the first season, but then when he was doing it the second season, was bad at it. We just kept telling him to stop throwing. Y'all didn't want him to throw it, so now y'all saying Mike McDaniel throw it. Y'all don't know what y'all want, bro.
Hey, Ennis, you so right. That second year, or whatever it was one play. I know the whole fan base was like, "What the fuck you challenging that for?"
That's crazy.
Like, you right about that though. You right about that. But my thing to
me, man, I think, man, if McDaniel doesn't. If he doesn't win 12 games,
Shake,
man.
I'm gonna drop down.
If he doesn't win 12 games, then I'm looking at the team. It's pretty much basically, I mean, where we were with Flores, man. So if you don't win 12 games, I'm looking at you. You still can't even. I mean, you can't even outdo Flores, man.
Again, it has to be why we didn't win.
I want to give you some pushback a little bit, though. You got to remember, we had a lot of we had injuries to a lot of key players. We had certain depth issues. We had a rookie head coach, who was still pretty, green and play calling and time management. You got to remember that.
I get that, man. But Flores didn't have nowhere near this year too. Yeah, but Flores didn't have nowhere near this roster what we have now, man.
Yeah, nowhere near this roster. But that's not. Hold on. That's not Mike McDaniel's fault. Stop. I hate when people do that with Flores and McDaniel.
That is not his fault. I agree.
McDaniel came in here and kept the roster intact. Most coaches want to tear it down. Flo got to tear it down, and y'all applaud him for that. But McDaniel kept the roster and took the pieces that he was able to get and made a top 10 offense. But y'all don't want to give. Y'all say, yeah, he did that, but then turn around and say he got to do this and that. And he kept the roster intact as much as y'all love the players. But he doesn't have to be loyal to them. Those are not his guys he drafted or he picked, but he kept them because he knew. But because he knew.
How do you feel about this?
That's nasty work, bro.
How do you feel about this, Ennis? At certain parts, for the majority of last year, we was playing with our 6th and 7th and 8th DBs, in prominent positions for extended period of time. That is something that is a hill that I'm going to die on when I go to talking about the performance or what should have happened. And that's major to me that we was playing with DBs that wouldn't have played at all. They were starting and they were playing prominent roles.
Right, but I'm gonna say if you're gonna say he has to win 12 games, it has to be context. What happened that we didn't win 12? Did people get hurt all season again?
Absolutely.
If everybody's healthy, then I'm with you. He has to win 12 games, but that has to be with everybody healthy, majority of the team. Because if Tua doesn't play the whole season, are we saying he still has to win 12? Come on, what?
Well, yeah, man. Because for me, really, I can't buy that. If Tua goes, say Tua goes down.
Well, then at the same time, we can't be saying that we got the best 53-man roster in history.
But we know Skyler and Mike White is not going to win 12 games, though.
Say Tua goes down week 3, week 4. Now the Carr season done because Tua goes down in week 3, week 4. I can't. I just ain't good with that, man. McDaniel, you gotta show me something, man, that we could still be competitive, man, and hanging tight in the division. You know what I'm saying? To do something. I can't go with just because Tua goes down in week 3. Come on, man. We talking about 14. We talking about 14.
I can agree in somewhat because you gotta have a quarterback.
Hold on, Nick. Hold on. We talking about going down in week. I'm saying going down in week 3. Now the season is going to shit after week 3.
We don't have a Matt Moore on the team, Fred. So yes, it's over.
That's what I'm not buying.
Then you don't have a 53-man roster then.
Exactly, man. I'm not buying it.
Hold on. So if Josh Allen goes down in week 3, so the Bills are still going to win 11, 12 games?
No, I'm not going.
We don't know. That theory's never been tested.
I'm not going there with that. I'm sticking with the Dolphins and what we.
Josh Allen hasn't showed that he has the ability to stay off the field.
The theory hasn't been tested, but they have a good roster, so people say around the league they picked every year to win it. So why not?
But again, like I said,
they are. They are picked to win because he can stay on the field.
Come on, I'm looking
at their roster though.
Mike McDaniel has to keep this team competitive, man. I'm just giving it week 3, bro. I'm just saying week 3. That's not too bad, bro. Week 3, if Tua goes down, we still need to be competitive with a backup quarterback, bro.
Let's get out.
Technically the Ravens won the Super Bowl with a backup quarterback because Trent Dilfer by definition was a backup quarterback.
One thing I want to add is if you look at Philadelphia's roster top to bottom, is probably one of the best rosters last year, top to bottom in the NFL. And once Hurts was injured for those 2 games, they lost both of them.
Thank you. Hey, you go look Trent Dilfer. Bro, Trent Dilfer played with Hall of Famers. Ray Lewis. Like, come on, Crypto, stop.
Exactly. That's the point. We keep making it as if our 53-man roster is equal to that Ravens team and saying we're the best ever that's ever been on the field.
Exactly, man. And another thing.
That's what they're preaching to the fan base, Big Nick. You know this. You're one of them. You're the pom-pom waver that does that as well.
It's like we got so many guys. We got so many guys.
I'll put it out there and say that you said it then, Big Nick. You want a name on it.
We got so many guys that if one guy goes down, man, then the season is done.
I didn't say nothing about an all-time roster. I said we got a top 3 team. I haven't heard anybody talk
Okay, a top 3 team should still be contending for the Super Bowl if we got the best 53.
Absolutely.
It should rely on one player being missing.
53? That's not true. That's not true.
Let me ask you guys a question.
That's not true.
Do you want your 50? Do you want your 53?
Because like I said, Trent Dilfer was technically a backup quarterback that won it because they had all stars in other positions.
Crypto.
They drug him to a Super Bowl.
Let's play Fred game. Let's play Fred game.
It ain't no game. It ain't no game. I'm talking about week 3, bro.
But how long was those rosters together, Crypto?
That's what y'all missing. Some arguments
they were together. Yeah, but this point is, they had key players at enough skill positions to carry a guy like Trent Dilfer to a title.
So you think we got a Trent Dilfer on this team? I'm just asking. You think Trent Dilfer is on the level of Mike White?
Our backups is just as good as him.
You think Mike White is just as good as Trent Dilfer?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I can't.
One at a time.
Skylar Thompson's better than Trent Dilfer. Yes.
Okay.
So we should be in the situation the Ravens did based on your theory.
You win the debate.
Them teams had.
Okay, let me ask you a question. San Francisco lost their quarterback. They played Brock Purdy. They won all their games out through the rest of the regular season. They're prepared in case they lose their starting quarterback. They've got a roster behind them that's going to support the team.
Exactly. So a roster can carry it with a third string. You're going to tell me. You're going to tell me this Dolphins team was the best Dolphins team ever assembled. Then we should be able to carry our third string quarterback to the dance.
But hold on.
We said that last year.
You said assembled. That 49ers team's been assembled already for the last 3 years.
And they're a good team.
But we got a bunch of Hall of Famers and Pro Bowlers at every position, the way y'all said.
Crypto, they haven't been playing together yet that long. The 49ers
they haven't been playing together yet that long, but then...
I'm Dolphin fan. What's up, man? Salute.
I get that, but by week 10, they should be already in jail.
Come on, this is not Madden, bro.
That's what he do.
Yeah, but you're saying it's not Madden.
I do beyond nuance. That's the problem.
Either it is or it ain't. That's what he do.
Let me jump in here real quick. And I got one thing to address, right? I've been listening to y'all for about the last 10, 20 minutes. And this narrative that if Tua gets hurt, the season is shot, the Dolphins shouldn't be competitive, etc. That is ridiculous to say.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say, Ian.
Hey, hang on, Crypto.
But
San Francisco how many games did San Francisco win last year when Garoppolo got hurt?
You mean
was that team just coming together?
No. Hang on. That team was in the championship game last year. Listen, if Tua goes down, I'm not giving Mike McDaniel a pass, bro. No, this team has too much talent. They have too much coaching to just sit here and say if Tua is gone, if Tua gets hurt, the season is over with. Oh, no,
right. I'm not willing to throw in the towel like that.
Hang on, Crypto. Hang on. Let me finish. Now, I will say this. Now, if Tua gets hurt, that does significantly, hinder our chances of winning it all, winning a Super Bowl. But no, sir. If he gets hurt, this team still should be able to win. With enough talent on it. Again, that's why you go out and get a Dalvin Cook. That's why you assemble the roster that you've assembled. That's why you go get a Vic Fangio. This is still a 10 or 11 win team. Without Tua, it should be. It should be.
And that's all I've been trying to say here. by design, because our defense is supposed to be that superior.
Hold on, Fred. Where them San Francisco teams, where did they end up the last 2 seasons before last year?
They were competitive. They were highly competitive.
They was in the playoffs.
NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's my point.
But they did it with Garoppolo, though. Everybody like to call him a third stringer too in this fan base.
My point is Brock Purdy leaned on a team that's been through it. They've been in the playoffs.
Well, this team made the playoffs.
San Fran was missing some key players. Both of them playing the playoff stretch. They was missing some key players too.
Both of you guys are going to come at me for this take right here.
Christian McCaffrey just joined that team.
San Francisco is a really good team that happens to play in the NFC West.
Okay, and the AFC got just a bunch of crappy teams in there, and a division full of crappy teams, just like in the AFC South. And what?
The NFC West had 2 playoff teams last year. Last time I checked.
In the weak NFC,
and the NFC East had 4 players, almost 4 teams in the playoffs. Okay, well, conference versus conference. Nobody yet to dug out that record. They like to go with the platitude that the NFC is weak. But last time I checked, the one NFC team swept one particular AFC division. Anybody want to take a guess at that is? That's not an outlier. That's what it is. That's what happened in that season. That's what happened in that season. That's not an outlier that happened before.
If you heard me,
you want to go with that platitude, keep on with it.
Go ahead, Fred. Y'all one at a time, man.
The NFC South is just as crappy as any NFC.
Hey, man,
let me say this.
Hey, bro, one at a time, man. Nobody can make out anything, up on a panel, bro. It's too many talking at one time.
I am.
I've been chill. I've been laid back. You know what I'm saying? I've been letting the, people flow his course. But like EM said, please let one at a time, bro. Come on. There's no reason for there be like 20 voices at one time, bro. Please. Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
If you notice, EM, I said week 3, man. Week 3, come on, man. You're gonna write off they're gonna write off our season after week 3 if 2 was there.
I'm sorry.
I'm not buying that,
I'm
man.
sorry. I just can't I can't co-sign that. Listen, it's too much talent on this team, and there's so many other things you can do to offset the loss of your starting quarterback, like run the football more, right?
So I'm looking at
that's why you go. That's why you go get a Dalvin Cook. That's why you go bring in Vic Fangio. That's why you assemble the team that you have in place now. No, this still should be without Tua. It should be a 10 or 11 win team.
Oh, we on the same page, Ian. We on the same page, bro.
Exactly. I put too much emphasis in Mike White and Skyler, but go ahead.
I mean, for this roster, I feel like
he don't have to throw a single pass.
Didn't they when Garoppolo went out? Didn't their game plan? They leaned a little more on the run game, and he coached up Brock Purdy, a 7th round pick. Yeah. Why can't he do the same? Why can't he do the same thing? If you are that guy as a coach, why can't you do the same thing with Mike White or Skylar Thomas?
Because y'all don't want to hear my point on that, so it doesn't matter.
Go ahead, Ennis. Go ahead, man.
No. Ennis, what's your point? What's your point on that one?
Them rosters been together. Like, that's what y'all listen. Like, them teams been to playoff games and been through fire. So Brock Purdy handing the ball off, doing dump. He's on a team that was carrying him. That team was carrying Jimmy.
Okay.
Well, why can't this team carry? Why can't this team carry Skylar Thompson? It's not enough talent on this roster to carry Skylar or Mike White.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I want to make a point real quick.
Jalen Ramsey's good enough, ain't he?
Yeah, I want to make a point real quick though about the San Francisco team and to Ennis' point, the fact. Look when what's his name? Was that the San Francisco? What's his name? The head coach. I can't think of his name. Why my helmet is blanking. Kyle Shanahan. When he was his first head coaching job was San Francisco. So his first few years as a head coach, when Jimmy Garoppolo went down, he couldn't win a game to save his life. But now that he has like 4 or 5 years under his belt, he adjusted better to having playing better with backup quarterbacks. And we still got to remember that this is McDaniel's 2nd year as a head coach. So, like you said, number 1, continuity, and number 2, the more years you do it as a head coach, the better you can make your adjustments. That's why I like Vic Fangio as our defensive coordinator, because he'll make more. He'll be able to adjust better than Josh Boyer ever could, because he knows and sees different offenses. So I think that plays a big part in that as well.
Hey, I'm not saying
Shake
that's
money,
not.
and
Listen,
that can
hang on.
offset you losing
I'm
the
not
starting
saying.
quarterback if you create a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, but McDaniels
I'm not
don't got
saying
as much
that
time as
continuity is
Shanahan
not
did.
important. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, no. Listen, it's a big part of that. But this team, this is a playoff team last year, right? This is a playoff team with Tua missing 5 games last year with less talent.
Right.
There is no goddamn excuse if Tua go down week 1. There is no excuse why this team shouldn't win 10, 11 wins, bro. It's too much talent. Way too much. No excuses.
And enough talent on the team can bring you through in the regular season.
And Skylar Thompson,
At least in the regular season when you're playing a different team every week.
And you didn't have Jalen Ramsey. You didn't have David Long Jr. You didn't have Robbie Anderson. You didn't have Dalvin Cook. Well, that might be a little premature, but if they get a Dalvin Cook, you know what I mean? You didn't have with less talent. I mean, bro, there's no way you shouldn't. I'm sorry. There is no excuse.
I'm going off if Dalvin's not here. I'm going off Dalvin's not here. Until Dalvin get here, I'm not going to make assumptions until he gets here.
I think EM, you have.
That's fine, but even without Dalvin Cook, even without Dalvin Cook,
chain, they got enough speed to make up the difference.
With them Liam Eichenberg running backs, nah, y'all true. Okay.
A point I want to bring up is that I've heard a lot of talk about McDaniels is going to be better. Okay, McDaniels is going to be better in his second year, and A-Chain's going to be. I'm trying to make a point.
Make a point on Buffalo's page.
I know, bro. I mean, bro.
Okay. Let me say this then.
The line.
Wait, the second year of this offense, we're supposed to be getting better under the head coach. So hence, by definition, Mike McDaniel took away his own excuse.
Listen, we're talking.
If I could finish my point.
Mark, let me finish my point.
Nothing about our team.
Hey, big.
Let me say this, Shake Money.
Let me say this real quick, and then I'll give it to you, dude. Come on. As long as he's being respectful, bro, I'm not with this gatekeeping shit, bro. So please,
you a better man than me, Shake. All I gotta say is you a better man than me.
I don't need his critique about my team. I know he can't tell me nothing about my team. Nothing.
I understand,
but I'm sure I could tell you an awful lot about your team.
I bet you
can. The panel, bro. Please do me a favor, respect the panel, bro. Thank you. But go ahead, Crypto.
Anyway, back to my point.
Crypto was going to say something. Let Crypto say something, and then now you can go after him. Go ahead, Crypto. What you wanted to say?
Yeah, I was going to kind of piggyback somewhat of what you said earlier about the defense. Yes, if you got enough talent on defense, to EM's point, that if you're going to create more turnovers, that's going to be our biggest gain. That's going to make a situation what should, in theory, give somebody like a second string or third string quarterback a shorter field to be able to punch it in, and you don't have to go the length of the field because your defense is overcompensating for the loss of a starting quarterback. If they can create enough extra possessions to be able to close the gap and what you may have as starting quarterbacks versus starting quarterbacks. So with Vic Fangio being here, which is a dramatic upgrade, plus all the other talent that we have on defense, we can create extra possessions that can offset one and in several games if Tua was to miss to do it. Hence, by definition, a defense can carry you to the playoffs in the regular season because you'll play enough games in the regular season against teams over a certain stretch where you may outmatch them. So yes, by design, Mike McDaniel don't get no pass.
But I think Enos and I are coming at it from a different point of view. I think Enos and I are saying if Tua is healthy, we are a Super Bowl contender, if not in the Super Bowl team. So anything short of that, we just don't see the season being a success. So maybe we can't see it from that point of view. So that could be the disconnect that I have. Like I don't see us as being a 12-win team without Tua because my aspiration for with Tua is a Super Bowl. And without Tua, that we just won't make it. That's just
well,
Yeah,
Nick,
but Tua's gonna get
I agree
hurt.
with that.
Tua's
Now,
gonna
I
get
agree with
I
hurt.
that
don't think nobody's
100%.
making that
I
argument. I
mean,
don't think nobody's making
I
that
agree with
argument.
that
Though, Big Nick.
100%.
Yeah,
Now,
but
I think
if
we're just trying to say
Tua,
whether or not we
if
can make the
Tua gets
playoffs.
hurt, now,
I was
Super
trying
Bowl
to say,
aspirations.
your point is good.
Super Bowl aspirations is different.
Hold on, Crypto. I think you have a great point, EM. You're absolutely correct. This is a 10 to 11 win roster regardless. But I think the argument or the disconnect that Enos and I have is that with a healthy Tua, with a healthy roster, we're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Well, yeah. We were just trying to say
100%.
we should be able to get to the playoffs. We should be a playoff contender with anybody.
Absolutely.
That far. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm willing to go that far.
I agree with that, but the 12 wins.
Because I think teams over regular season play enough opponents over the length of a season where if you got a dominant defense, you can make the playoffs with just a dominant defense alone.
That's true.
The Jets almost made the playoffs and they got Zach Wilson as the quarterback and they won 7 games. You mean to tell me teams with this talent can't at least make the playoffs with a third string backup? The Jets almost made it with 7 freaking games and they had Zach Wilson as the quarterback.
Has Tua been healthy for a full season?
Does
anyone know?
And allowed him to score 40 points in the fucking fourth quarter.
Has Tua been healthy for a full season?
Yeah, no, not yet.
Who was to say we're not going to play a team like that that's going to allow us to score 40 even without our starting quarterback?
Has Tua been healthy for a full season?
What difference do it make? So what?
What do you mean? That makes no sense. If he hasn't been healthy for listen to what I'm saying.
What difference does it make?
Okay, well you just said you're saying that you have Super Bowl aspirations, but if he hasn't been healthy for just listen. If he hasn't been healthy for a full season yet, what makes you think he's going to be healthy this season?
But I didn't say that. I never said that. I never said.
Wasn't he healthy his rookie season?
I never said that. I never said that.
I'm just asking a question.
All I said was a healthy Tua.
Wasn't Tua healthy his rookie season?
Yeah, he was.
Well, if you want to say he started at the beginning of week 6, he missed some games.
He had a hand injury. I think he missed one. I think he missed 1 or 2 games at his rookie year.
Right, Ian.
Wasn't that his second season?
2 games in his rookie year.
No, that was the first. That was the first.
His second season.
Yeah, you're right.
First season he had the hand injury.
He was hurt the second season too, but he was hurt. He was
first season was the
missed
hand
every
injury.
year.
The second season was the ribs and the finger.
Right, every year.
The third season was the concussion, and the fourth season we'll see.
Right.
Yeah, it was a finger injury. You're right, EM. You're right.
So, I mean,
but he didn't come into the 7th game of the season after week 6.
And none of that means he has to get hurt this year.
So
you can only go off history.
Well, his history since high school says he gets hurt every year.
Yeah,
so
but none of that means he's going to get hurt this year.
What was the point?
That now goes back 7 or 8 years where he's been injured every year.
Is your quarterback getting an elbow fix? Is his elbow fix or is it still going to be
the history says Josh Allen throws a lot of turnovers.
Is that still going to be an excuse for this season, his bad elbow?
So hold on. Mark wanted to make a few points. I want to give him a floor because I'm going to replace him for Spider-Man. So go ahead. Make your points,
cool.
Mark.
Really quick. I've heard a lot of folks talking about McDaniel being better in his second year and A-Chain going to tear it up in the first year, et cetera, et cetera. But one of the things that I don't think you folks think about is other teams are having second-year coaches and rookie players in additions to the roster. Other teams above them, along with the Dolphins, have improved their rosters. And when you start assessing the NFL, you have to look at everybody's roster, the changes that they've made, the scheme changes that are being put into place, the development of their coaching staff and their players as they evolve. So I'll be glad to drop off the line. When you
say other teams, Mark, when you say other teams, are you talking about generally, or are you talking about the AFC East?
I'm talking about.
Are you indicating the Bills in that conversation?
No. It's more of a generalities statement.
Oh, okay. Well, in 2023, I mean, you can make a case. Several of those top teams that we consider top teams in the AFC, some of them have gotten weaker. I think the Bengals.
Who have you considered getting weaker?
Are the Jets weaker than last year? I don't think so.
I would say
I think the Bengals may be down a little bit because they have some issues with their secondary. Do you think Baltimore's weaker? Do you think the Chargers are
Let him
weaker?
answer, bro. Let him answer. I can't
Are
hear
you
nobody.
asking me a question, Mark, or what? Did you ask me a question or what? Or is that a rhetorical?
I'm trying to ask a question here. Okay, tell me the teams that you think that are contenders that are weaker than last year.
Okay, well, again, Cincinnati, I think they're deep. We can forecast some regression there on defense. You lose your two starting, your two starting safeties, right? I say, man, it's some crazy feedback. Is that me?
Big Nick.
Yeah, that's not me, bro.
That's JM.
That's you, bro.
How you gonna tell me that's me?
Hold on. I'm gonna mute Big Nick real quick. Go ahead, talk, Em.
Yeah, okay. So I definitely Buffalo, I think, in my opinion, at least on paper, they got weaker. You lose your starting middle linebacker, right? You lose your defensive coordinator. I mean, okay. Again, at least on paper, in my opinion, they look like they've gotten weaker.
Don't forget the bickering with the wide receiver and all that. Don't forget all that too, man. The bickering with Stephon Diggs. Yeah, that's a distraction.
Oh yeah, you got that situation going on as well. Yeah, I forgot about that. The Chargers, I mean, did they get better?
No, they get
pretty much status quo.
They got better. They
pretty much stayed status quo. Bro, I think I can make a case that the talent the offseason that we had, I mean, who improved their team as much as we did from a coaching standpoint and a personnel standpoint? Who?
Yeah, coaching standpoint is interesting because whereas McDaniel is a second year
I can make an argument for my teams, EM.
Steelers.
I can make an argument for the Steelers.
Pittsburgh is, yeah, I agree. Pittsburgh is widely better than last year.
Allen Robinson, I mean,
personnel.
Pat P.
Cleveland is better than last year.
All right.
I could definitely say Cleveland's better than last year. I think Baltimore is better than last year.
I mean,
I think the whole AFC North, with the exception of Cincinnati, has actually improved.
Team, bro. I think they got really underrated right now.
Hey, now, Baltimore might got marginally better offensively, but they lost Marcus Peters, right? They lost.
They didn't care about losing Marcus Peters. He was washed anyway.
Okay, well,
who are the two biggest?
They may have gotten Marcus.
Well, who's going to come in and give you the production that he gave them last year? You're going to bet on who's the guy that you're going to replace him with? At least for the short term.
Who's the
guy that you're going to replace that level of production with? You still got to replicate that production somehow.
Well, they have Marlon Humphreys in the secondary. They have the safety from Notre Dame.
You lose Calais Campbell on your D-line.
The people are generally healthy.
You lose Calais Campbell on your D-line. You lose Patrick Queen, right? And again, they might have.
They didn't lose Patrick Queen.
They lost Patrick Queen.
No, they did not lose Patrick Queen.
Yeah, I thought Patrick Queen was a free agent this offseason.
Nope, he's still with Baltimore. This is Roquan Smith there for a full season. They added receiving threats.
No, he's still there.
They get.
But guess what about
Baltimore? They might have gotten marginally better.
Guess what about Baltimore?
Another thing that teams don't, or you're not actually taking into consideration is teams' health from last year. So teams are going to be better simply because they're healthier. Are you saying the Jets aren't better by adding Aaron Rodgers and Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb and
Randall Cobb really
Brees Hall and Elijah Tucker are back? They're not going to be better.
Alan Lazard, but my point is they didn't get as good as they didn't make enough improvements to match the offseason we had.
Aaron Rodgers is not better than any improvement that the Miami Dolphins made this year.
We'll see how that
we'll
works
have
out.
to see how it pans out on all spectrums.
But when you're talking about,
if we're saying that we have the better upgrade,
what you have is Ramsey, and you have a linebacker with soft tissue injuries that's still injured.
All right, hold on.
Hold on. If we're saying we're doing it once again, not realize we're doing it.
That's why we said on paper. We don't know how the season is going to. David Long might play 17 games. David Long might play every single snap. We gotta wait and see. We gotta wait and see how it plays out. But
History
we're
told you
coming from the
Teron
perspective
Armstead wasn't going to play
on
every
paper
snap.
right now.
Right.
And you got
And
2
to your
years of
point you
injury
was
history, which
making
is why
earlier.
Tennessee let him go.
Man, I can't hear nobody, bro.
Anyway, yeah.
Hold on.
On that note, let me
Ian.
I'm gonna put you in the back for now because I have we have some Dolphins
Yep,
waiting.
no problem, no problem, Shake. I'll
Put me back, Shake. Drop me back.
No, you're good.
Hey, Ian.
Nobody's
Hey, Ian.
What's good, Crypto?
Hey, I was gonna back up what you were saying as far as how you was making the case that if the Dolphins is getting so much better than everybody in the AFC standpoint, and everybody may have had a minor or significant regression, then by definition, regardless of who's under center for us, we should still make the playoffs. That was the point you was trying to make before.
Exactly.
Absolutely, 100%.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
in verse Ravens,
you know,
we're not in verse Ravens. We're not 3-1. We're 3-2.
It's just hard for me to participate in that because I just don't participate in that talk. My talk is AFC representatives of the Super Bowl.
Nick, I think you
Okay,
said
it should be that way regardless of who's under center.
Yeah, but Nick, you saying like, yeah, if it ain't Tua, then it ain't nothing, bro.
Right, that's what you're saying, Nick. We should still be able to make the playoffs, Nick.
Listen,
yeah, Nick, what you talking about, bro?
Listen, I'm going to tell you. What I'm saying is, right, no matter how you perceive it, this is what I'm saying. I don't want to have Kehu starting over Howard. I don't want to have the undrafted guy starting over Raekwon Davis. I don't want to have Skylar starting over Tua. I don't think in those methods. I think in the way my team is supposed to be constructed and played. That's how I think of it. However you think of it, whatever scenarios you put in your head, that's cool. I'm rainbows and sunshine over here.
But I'm talking about.
We're talking about like
we talking about the probability.
It don't matter what I'm rainbows and sunshine. I'm Skittles over here, baby.
We're just saying we should be a playoff team without those guys.
That's cool. That's cool. I ain't trying to stop you from thinking that.
We're just taking a step further. That's all, Big Nick.
We
believe in a 53-man roster, not an 11-man roster.
I'm not taking.
See the problem, Big Nick. You believe in a 22-man roster. We believe in a 53-man roster.
That's you.
Exactly, man. Man, you gonna write my season off after week 3, bro. If Tua goes down after week 3,
you cannot write your season off after week 3. I can't accept that.
Don't do us like that, Nick.
Not if we're supposed to have the best roster in the history of the universe.
Exactly.
I'm not accepting. That's skunk talk.
Not the history of the universe.
I think this offense and defense could carry Skylar Thompson. Not Skylar Thompson necessarily carrying the team, bro, but them carrying Skylar, bro. I'd be looking at it like that.
Hey, Fred and Crypto. I promise you guys, as my Dolphin family, I promise you guys, I would never try to change the way you fan. Please stop trying to change the way I fan.
Right. I ain't trying to change
Fred, let's take it back to last season. Let's go back to last season. Now, I want to bring it up because with Tua, you had 8 wins. With Skylar, how many wins did you get? 1. And even in that win, he didn't really win it. You have to rely on the kicker.
What to say the other defense? That's the point. Our defense got better. We had an upgrade significantly in personnel and coaching.
On paper.
Now what?
On paper, they got better.
Q, let me push this to you. Okay,
I don't argue.
No. This statement that EM and I want EM to clarify that he made this statement. He said, hey, I want you to clarify, EM. You said even without Tua, this team is a 12-win team.
That's right.
It doesn't make sense.
10 to 11.
I said 10 to 11.
Hang on, real quick. No, this team is a 10 or 11. This team without Tua should be a 10 or 11 win team.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Hang on. I'll throw you the perfect. I'll throw you the perfect example. You go back to when was that? That was 2008, right? When the Patriots were coming into that season, right off that. Coming into the 2008 season, the favorites to win it all. Tom Brady goes down in week 3, right? Matt Castle is inserted into the lineup, right? They didn't make the playoffs, but they won 11 games.
Yeah,
they didn't make. They didn't win the division, or did they win the division? Did they? I'm sorry, we won the division.
We beat them out the last week. Yeah,
right. We won the division, but did they make the playoffs? Did they make the playoffs that year?
They missed the playoffs because
they missed the playoffs by one game.
Well, they were still an 11 win. They won 11 games, right?
No.
So
okay,
right.
Good point.
So at the end of the day, listen. I agree with Nick 100%. If you don't have Tua, I think that Super Bowl aspirations go out the window. However, but the way the roster is constructed, the coaching that you have in-house, there's no way you can convince me. I mean, hell, Brian Flores won goddamn 10 wins, right? With 38% of the roster being undrafted status.
UPS employees and Walmart shoppers.
Come on, bro. There's no excuses. There's none.
Okay, let me rebuttal. All right, so you brought up the Matt Castle, Tom Brady. But what are the odds that happens with the Miami Dolphins? And you think about the league holistically, going back. How many backups come in and they play for somebody like Tom Brady, or you just say starter, and they take that team to an 11-win season or a 12-win season? What are the odds? My question is, what are the odds that happens?
Brock Purdy?
That's a terrible example. It just recently happened.
Okay.
But how often do those odds present itself in that fashion, though?
Like you just bringing up a couple quarterbacks, but you look at the league and holistically, it doesn't happen to every team.
Because the opportunity doesn't present itself as often as it think it does.
But how many teams you see going through the year that is talented as this team and have the level of coaching that this team has? You don't see that.
Where I'm coming from is without Tua, you don't get to know 12 wins, because I think Tua is your best quarterback, the best quarterback you have. He gives you the best chance to win.
Nobody's
in terms of position.
Nobody's debating that. Q.
All of our backup quarterbacks is better than Trent Dilfer. That's all I gotta say.
No, make it make sense is what I'm saying. But to say that without Tua, this team is
without Tua.
But because of the
say this, all they're saying with or without Tua, they believe we have a 10 to 11 wins.
Because of the level of talent.
If we got the best talent in the history of the universe,
Nobody's saying that but you, Crypto.
Yeah, you saying that, Big Nick. That's what you're saying. By definition.
I mean, look at all the polls that's out there when they were ranking like with Trump.
I hope you understand where I'm coming from, Ian. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I'm not saying that Tua is this. No, I'm just saying it doesn't make sense to me.
No. And I'm trying to explain it to you, Q. This is my point, bro. Listen to what I'm saying. Just listen to what I'm saying. Calm down, take a deep breath, and just listen to me. Right?
All right, man.
Nobody's debating that Tua is the best option. We all know Tua is the best quarterback on his right. Again, if Tua is not under center, Super Bowl aspirations go out the window. But if he is, God forbid, knock on wood, if he does get hurt, right, there is enough talent on this roster, right, to, if you insert a guy like Mike White, like Skylar Thompson, and on top of that, if you go out and get a player like Dalvin Cook, there are things you can do to offensively to offset the loss of Tua, and you combine that, we can all forecast this is going to be a top 5 defense. And you combine that with a high-level defense, that is a formula. When you run the football and you combine with good defense, that is a formula to get to the playoffs.
I agree.
Yeah, that is a playoff.
That is a formula to win 10 or 11 wins, bro. We see it every year.
So I'm not comfortable enough to say the playoffs, but I am comfortable enough, believe it or not, to say 10, 11.
Hey, somebody said it just right.
Okay, Big Nick, fair enough. 10 or 11 wins. That's most likely a playoff appearance.
I know, but I ain't comfortable enough to say playoffs.
Hold on. Hey, but here's the thing, though. Like, that's the problem that we don't want to have. It's such a discrepancy between QB1 and then QB1 and 2. Like, if you look at it throughout the NFL, you look at the advanced statistics, like, bro, the discrepancy between Tua in terms of, like, the talent level, like, in terms of their production, bro, like, the Dolphins had the biggest discrepancy at quarterback, like the biggest gap between the
Spider-Man. That's Spider-Man. If Tua's your best option, he should produce you more of the majority of the wins.
Stop it.
He should produce you majority of the wins.
That is a humongous gulp.
Yeah.
We'll
see.
First of all,
hold on. I want to finish real quick.
That is stratosphere away. Mahomes and Henning.
Chad Henning has one of the greatest offensive minds in the NFL as a head coach, which is Andy Reid. So that in itself is the advantage.
My bad. Real quick,
Yeah, he
before I
does as
forgot,
far as your
hang on,
talent, Shane.
Crypto, hang on. Before I forget, damn it, it wasn't only the 49ers last year. Didn't Lamar Jackson get hurt and Tyler
Thank you, Ian.
Tyler Huntley?
Thank you.
Yes, they did. Yeah,
got
Tyler
them to the
Huntley
playoffs
came
last
in
year?
and got him to the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
But hold on, I wanted to finish my point real quick.
He came in cold turkey.
And how did they get to the playoffs? By running the football and playing good defense.
And wouldn't this roster be better than the Ravens
he
roster?
played a
without
significant
Lamar
amount.
Jackson?
That's like 9 wins, right? Didn't they get like 9 wins?
No, they got 10
8 wins?
No, they had
They got
like
10?
10 or 11 wins.
They got 10. They were 10 and 6.
Now that's a 10-win team right there. We can all agree we're much more talented than the Ravens, right? Collectively, we're 53.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
We're much more talented than the Ravens.
But what I was trying to say was that's the problem that we don't want to have, because when Tua was out, like our yardage per game, our scoring, our offensive production went to the toilet. Like Waddle and Tyreek weren't as productive. Like you don't want to have that huge, drop off when you
not necessarily true, though, Irvin. The Vikings game.
I'm sorry, Irvin. Your mic is
Irvin?
trash, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The yardage, the scoring wasn't there, but yardage was there. If we had a running game, we can get it in the end zone.
Let me give it some.
No. We're talking about it was bad.
Can you
QB1, QB2 and 3
Waddle doesn't fumble the football twice in that Vikings game. We have 500 yards in the total offense with an extra 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that was
because the audio was coming out.
I heard your mic sounds horrible. What up, yo?
Listen,
What up, Esther?
Esther, what's good, homie?
What's up, Esther? What's going on? VW, man. VW, you might have to give the homie Lewis some check on VW. He's going to score 8 points, 4 rebounds a game. You might want to check with the homie Lewis on that. He said 18 points.
Man, ain't nobody listening to Lewis. Lewis is a hoe. Ain't nobody listening to Lewis.
You might want to check with Lewis on that.
Tell Lewis his worst nightmare just landed on the jet, and he's already practicing and training in a Spurs
He warming
uniform.
up. Hey, did he go to Whataburger? Did he go to Whataburger and pick up him a chicken sandwich at Whataburger?
Man, he's VIP everywhere he goes, bro. VIP. You hear me?
Yeah, as long as he pick up a chicken sandwich, extra chicken sandwich, he'd be good.
So by the time the backup quarterback get a chance to get into a game, right?
Hey, Shay, you can put me back. Is anybody waiting to be
Q, don't run, Q. No, sir, don't run.
No.
Don't run.
I'm here.
Why
I'm
you running,
staying.
bro?
No, it's all good. I
staying.
told everybody about
I'm staying.
BW. He the deal.
I'm here.
Q, I'm fucking with you, bro.
I
know.
You guys understand the amount of practice reps the starter gets opposed to the backup?
Man.
And for that production, that can be easily tracked. For that production, first-year players in the new system never getting practice reps. Of course, production is going to drop at the quarterback level. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, with this roster constructed, the way it's constructed, with or without Tua, they believe we have a 10 to 11 win roster. That's all they're saying.
Yes.
Oh man,
I understand that now.
I don't even think that I don't even think that's even debatable, man. This team is absolutely loaded, bro. But hopefully, listen. Hopefully, Tua's, his durability concerns don't become a reality this year in 2023.
Yep.
So, because I truly believe that Tua, I believe if Tua's healthy, this is a Super Bowl team. There's a lot of people. It's crazy to see a lot of, like when you listen to a lot of these programs on ESPN and Fox or whatnot, it's crazy to hear the Dolphins getting a lot of praise now.
Hey, they switching up, EM.
Yeah,
they switching up. The mainstream
motherfucker right now.
I'm not worried about the media. They just hedging their
like a
bets.
motherfucker, bro.
That's why I'm not buying into that nonsense.
They got the Dolphins in all sorts of categories right now.
They're hedging their bets. That's what they're doing.
Well, when you talk about Tua and
hey, just meet
injuries,
me at the Pentagon. That's where the address is at.
Hold on, real quick.
I'm at the Pentagon.
Go ahead, Dennis.
Miami Dolphins are the AFC representatives in the Super Bowl this year.
So, man, don't y'all feel like when you talk about Tua and this team and injuries, y'all don't feel like it's like you're going through a red light with your eyes closed and hoping somebody don't hit you from the side? That's what it feels like. You couldn't do the butt the whole time.
That's brutal.
Yeah, like every year.
That's funny.
I don't
That's
know if
funny.
I quite feel that way.
Don't put that up there, Shake. Why you putting that? Who is that dude anyway? Who is that guy? Why you putting that up there,
dude that
Shake?
don't know nothing about boxing.
He's addressing you, bro.
Damn, Lewis just said he's gonna be like Greg Oden. Man, how you feel about that, EM?
I don't even know
how
who
you
that
feel
is.
about that?
I don't even know who
He
that
said
is.
he ain't even eat his second cheeseburger yet. The man hasn't eaten his second cheeseburger yet, and he's already saying Greg Oden.
Y'all got that shit
that's not
y'all
right,
got
man.
y'all got that shit fucked up. That boy
Greg Oden was the number
what's
one.
good?
God damn.
That boy finna take over the league.
Didn't KD? I think KD went number 2.
You need to assert yourself, Dennis.
Hey, listen.
It's that type of.
Tyler
It's that
Hendricks.
type of.
That's all I gotta
panel.
say. He's the stopper.
Yeah.
BW stopper.
That boy,
Because he don't want
Get to know that name. Hey,
He
get
don't
to
want
know that
these
name,
facts 'cause
EM. Tyler Hendricks.
You're capping.
This league
I hear
officially
you.
belongs.
You heard me, EM?
Yeah, I hear you.
Talking about Tyler
Tyler Hendricks. That's all I had to say.
Hey, Tyler
Ennis,
Huntley
what's good, bro?
You talking about Tyler Huntley did it. Tyler Huntley went 2-3 as a starter. What did he do?
They still made the playoffs, though.
He finished the season.
But that was because of the wins Lamar had already had established.
Yeah, but they needed
won two
they
games.
needed to close the season. They needed to close it.
He won.
He still contributed.
What was Nick Foles' record when Carson Wentz went down?
No, that type of situation, I understand. It makes sense. When your starter has, that's what I'm saying. Like it didn't make sense to me because if your starter is the best chance you have, he should produce majority of the wins.
Well, I mean, listen,
that's no one's arguing that. You guys taking it to an argument.
Nobody's arguing that, but it's not the quarterback is not the only reason why you win games, bro. I don't give a fuck how good the quarterback is.
Exactly, man.
It's not the only reason. That's why you got a 53-man roster. That's why you got a defense. That's why you go get playmakers on at the skill positions, right? That's why you assemble as much talent as possible on your roster.
I understand that, but Tua won 8 of them games. Skyler won 1. We got in the playoffs.
Okay, look. You saying you saying
nobody's debating that.
But that's
it's not act like we didn't win a lot of close games neither. It's not like we was winning 56-0 in every game.
But y'all
look, Tyler, look, you said
done. Have you ever seen them carry string quarterback? Have you seen this team do that? That's where me and what's the name are coming from. We haven't seen them done it on paper. Yeah, it looks good.
Have we had a roster like this? When the last time we had a roster like this?
This roster's capable of carrying it. We haven't seen it yet. That's what Whitney and the other guy is saying.
Right.
The reason why we haven't seen is because maybe they didn't have a roster like this.
Thank you.
1
Them
through
other teams
53.
work together. That's what I was telling them earlier. Ian. Them teams work together. They carried Jimmy G. So when Purdy came in, the majority of that roster is still intact. They just did tweaks to it.
Right.
That coaching staff has been there. So the teams that y'all were bringing up, y'all not adding the context. Them teams have been together. And
we are adding the context.
Nobody is saying Nobody is saying that's not important in this. Well, at least I can't speak for other grown men, but at least what I am saying is like the continuity was established. The continuity was established last year with your foundation of your team with that playoff berth last year. Well, when you do that, okay, when you feel like you're close as a team, you already have your foundation in-house, you already, you got a playoff berth last year. Well, then that's when when you have the salary cap, when you have the resources available, you go bring in additional talent. That's exactly what the Dolphins did. And look at the players they brought in. They all got playoff experience. David Long, Jalen Ramsey. All of these guys have playoff experience. Super Bowl experience with Jalen Ramsey.
I guess where the threshold line, where the threshold lies is with the defense taking off. As everyone expects it to take off.
That was the biggest problem last year was the defense. We can all agree on that for the most part, right?
Right.
And
you bring in an established coach like Vic Fangio, arguably the greatest defensive mind we've seen.
The biggest reason last year. Injuries was the biggest reason.
So no, you upgrade in talent. You upgrade in talent.
Okay, if you upgrading the 53-man roster, you should be able to make up the difference.
And it's like, I feel though this team is already like, they all know each other, man. You know what I'm saying? It don't take this team 5 years, man, to get a feel for each other, man. This team know where they at with each other already, bro. You know what I mean?
And on top of that, you bring in Jalen Ramsey. He's been in his system for the last 3 years.
But that's not his argument. That is not Enos's argument. He's just
Thank you. Who said 5
why
years?
those teams.
But I'm just using 5 years as an example, bro.
But the point is, you should be able to win. You should be able to win 10 to 11 games, regardless of who's on the center, by definition.
Exactly. That was the whole thing.
I'm not going to sit up here and listen that we had the greatest roster in the history of the universe, 53 man, and then sit up there and say we can't win with 53 man.
Exactly.
I'm not going to accept that as an argument. You guys are talking with a freaking forked tongue.
You were saying that, Nick. You were saying that, Big Nick. You were saying if we didn't have
Hold on,
two,
Fred.
if we didn't have two.
I never said this is the best roster in the universe, so that don't apply to me. I've never said that.
All right, so what are you trying to say?
Everybody goes around on Twitter and YouTube and always present the Dolphins as the greatest upgrades and then around the league, the greatest roster, and then turn around and say this is even better than the 1972 Dolphins roster.
I don't care what they say. I've never said that.
Crypto is starting a conversation.
And then they say that.
Crypto is doing that on purpose,
say
man.
that. Like I said, I've never said that. So I don't know about what other people are saying.
Okay, Enos, you may have not personally said it, but that's what's being said consistently.
Wait, but I'm trying to
around these YouTube spaces.
I'm a part of the fan base, Crypto. It ain't made me.
Big Nick, you one of them. You one of them that say stuff like
making
that.
that up. Enos, don't fall for the banana.
I'm not saying for the. I'm not making it up because you'll turn around and say it tonight again. That's what your implications is.
Crypto.
Wait, Enos, what are you trying to say though? What was your argument?
It's what you imply, Big Nick.
No, my implication is the Miami Dolphins have a top 3 team, and they'll be the LC representative.
Relative to who?
But not the history of the world.
Relative to who?
Not the history of the world. Relative to this year.
Wait,
Enos,
well,
what were you
Crypto,
trying to say?
you disagree with this a top 3 roster? Are you disagreeing with that assessment?
It's not whether I agree with it as a top 3 roster. If I'm going to be preached that and bantered that that's the case, then it's no excuse for anybody to be losing regardless of who's on the center.
Crypto, but not based on the world. I ain't saying that.
Then what are your relative? What is your relationship to?
I'm not saying we're the 1984.
I just can't accept that this is better than the 84 Dolphins. I'm not buying it.
I'm not saying we're the 19. Right, we're better than the 84 Dolphins.
So for what I'm hearing,
we're better than 84 Dolphins.
We should be undefeated.
Wait, let Enos go. Let Enos go.
So for what I'm hearing, so if Tua plays every game, we should be undefeated.
Hey, I'll ride with that.
What? Hell, I mean, no, that's not the case.
Would you say it and say that again, bro?
Well,
I hear you.
That's not the nature of the NFL. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Listen, I know. Hang on, Nick. Hang on. Listen, I might have my homer hat right. I might have my homer hat on right now. So please forgive me. But the way this roster is assembled, I think if health permitting, there's not a team in the league I think that can, if you line up on any given Sunday, I think we have as good a chance to beat anybody any given week. Health permitting. I truly believe that. I am convicted in this roster, bro.
This is why I say this, because I'm
felt like
hearing
that
y'all,
last year.
and y'all said the roster should be able to carry Skylar or Mike White. So if Tua is playing every game, they don't need to carry Tua. So then who should we lose to then? If they can carry the backups.
You got check it out, Ennis. Well, the point is, Ennis, this team is not nowhere near the 72 team. So
I think our expectations are pretty low.
Y'all saying it is because it can carry.
They can still carry Skylar, but they're not going to carry them to a perfect season, just like they won't carry any quarterback to a perfect season.
If any team can go undefeated, if any team can go undefeated, I know a team that can do it has done it.
I said if Tua plays every game, if they can carry Skylar and Mike White, and you got a top 5 quarterback play from Tua, and he's playing every game, then what are we talking about?
But look
we end up somewhere between
last
the 10 and 13 wins.
Last year.
It's not going to be no perfect
How do we
season.
even know that Tua is going to give us that performance again? How do we even know that Tua is going to play?
Right, you got to count the fact that the games he played and when he played well.
But hang on,
factoring in all the 17.
Yeah, you're right.
Of the games that he gave.
No quarterback, bro, as good as when you talking Brady, you talking Marino, the bestest ever do it. No team, and I don't care what type of talent you got. We all know it's a reason why they have the saying any given Sunday, bro. You're not gonna win every game. I don't care how talented your team is.
If any team can do it, I know the one that can.
That's not realistic to say that. No, we're gonna win every game. Now I think
Dolphins have a right to say they can come back and run the table.
All I'm saying,
they ran the table before.
All I'm saying is there's a team that can win them all. There's evidence that we can do it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only team has a right to say that. By definition,
with the talent level we have. I'm just saying we have a chance. Now I know once the kickoff starts, right?
Dolphins, because the 72 one already did it. The 73 Dolphins has a right to come back and say we can do it, and be legit about it.
Every team can come back and say that. Every Dolphin
team
can say that. Every Dolphin team can say that. In the history of the world, only one professional team has ever gone undefeated, and if anybody can do it, we know we can.
Shay, go ahead and put that. Go ahead and highlight that comment down at the bottom, bro. Go put that.
Mercury Morris is not coming out there locker room anytime soon.
Boy, y'all on roller skates. Y'all on roller skates. Because now it's any given Sunday. So what is the odds on any given Sunday if you got Tua or Mike White or Skyler? Don't the odds better in your favor with your starting
quarterback? That work. Lewis hating like a motherfucker.
Yes.
Well, people were saying the defense can carry these guys, but y'all wasn't saying any given Sunday.
I'm annoying, but you a hater. You see how that works?
Damn. Damn.
And Lewis don't know shit about boxing. I can't believe y'all are at 11 wins with a top 3 team. How the hell are we at 11? Should we have higher aspirations?
That's only without Tua.
That's only without Tua. Meaning every game played, like Matt Castle.
Okay, all right, I get that.
We're talking about the Matt Castle rule.
With Tua, we got Super Bowl aspirations.
And I mean, once again, man, once again, of course, I ain't shitting on my team, man. Not at all, man.
Yes, you are.
And we can go back to last. No, I'm not, Nick. This is facts right here, bro. This is facts. Like last year, man. And then let's don't forget, man. Before he got hurt in the Green Bay game, man, the dude lost 4 games leading up to that game, man. 3 or 4 games leading up to that game before he got hurt. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's don't lose fact of that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Fred, no one said nobody's running the table.
So he was.
I hope not.
I mean, most fans act like that didn't even happen.
I'm just saying, man. Man. I don't know, man. I with Tua, I mean, like he can get us like 12, 13 wins, man. Right now, for me, that's hard to fathom.
Damn, that's big coming from you, Fred.
Yeah, that's hard to fathom from me, man.
What Ian was saying, 10 to 11 wins, regardless of who's on the center, and an extra 2 wins if Tua's on the center.
No, I think really, to be honest with you, bro, I think Tua, a healthy Tua, and as long as he expands upon that trajectory he established last year, Tua can give you, minimum 3 more wins, right?
Somebody said 12.
With that EM, I don't necessarily.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. What you think the gap is between a backup and a starter.
I see the defense getting 3 or 4 more wins. I see that. Yes, I do.
Because any high-end quarterback, when you're comparing them to their backups, they'll generally give you, 3 to 4 more wins. And that's high-end guys, right? They'll account for, 3 to 4 more wins. So, again, as long as Tua continues to get better, and especially if he gets better than last year, yeah, I can see him minimum 3 games minimum. So, but at the end of the day, this team is loaded, bro. There shouldn't be. I'm gonna be very, very, upset if Tua is hurt, and he's not on the field. I mean, that's gonna be a big letdown for me because I just think with a healthy Tua, this team is poised to really compete and win at the highest level. I truly believe that. So, but if he's not under center, it's not all doom and gloom. There should be enough. Mike McDaniel should, if he's the coach that we all think and hope we hope he is, in addition to Vic Fangio, that is a tandem. That coaching tandem as a whole, bro. I mean, look at the jobs that Kansas City does with, I know they have Patrick Mahomes.
So you saying the Dolphins got an all-time roster?
Oh, absolutely.
And they got Andy Reid.
Absolutely. This is the best roster I've, at least in my adult life, that I've ever seen a Dolphins have.
No. I mean all time in the history of the world.
Well, so, you can't. Wait, hang on. Well, no, you can't. No, you can't properly assess that until the season happens, bro. You got to have a resume attached to that. It's just not talent.
Yeah, we can only go off of last season.
Let me finish real quick. So what you're trying to say is, like, for instance, if Tua goes down for 5, let's say, I don't want to say, let's say a maximum of 5 games, we have enough talent to hold down the fort where we could come out at least 3-2 at the minimum.
Exactly.
And if he's out for the season, that's when you say, you know what, we still make it to the playoffs, but after that, it's a luck of the draw, pretty much.
Yeah, because when we all know when the postseason happens, that's when the better players, rise to the occasion, so to speak. You know what I mean? That's that's why you pay the price for quarterbacks and higher end talents, because they make their money in the postseason, not necessarily the regular season. So I just think that, and again, I just think that, and I would hope that either Skylar or Mike White will come out and ball their ass off and, have a Nick Foles type, season and propel us to the Super Bowl and ultimately win it. But that's highly unlikely. How many times that happened over the course of the 100-year history of the NFL? Yeah. But there's enough talent, more than enough talent on this roster, that if he addresses his situational play calling, if he establishes a bigger commitment to the run game, and you combine that, if we can forecast a top 5 to 10 defense, that is a recipe, that is a formula a playoff formula, in my opinion.
To go far in the playoffs at that, bro.
I will ask this question to him. How many teams have had the opportunity with a stacked roster that had a number 1 guy go down to begin with to give the second string or third string opportunity? That hasn't happened often either. So we can say that it's never happened, but the opportunities for it happening has also been low.
Well, yeah. Well, how many times has that presented itself? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. We got to go with the ratio as far as the percentage that it do happen once the opportunity is there.
Quite a few. It used to happen
more
Money,
check your Twitter, bro.
It used to happen more often than you guys think. Like Steve Grogan took the Patriots to a Super Bowl. Like, it has happened. You know what I'm saying? So, but those are like really, really good teams when that kind of shit happened, though. And I think we got a really, really good team.
Yeah, Steve Grogan. You want to say this
real quick? Let me address this. Real quick, let me address.
Backup Skylar is better than Grogan. Nick?
Hang on.
No, I don't think he's better than Grogan. No.
Hang on, real quick, bro. Let me address this. Let me address this fucking idiot Andrew Bailey. He's talking about Tua lost 4 games last year. What is EM talking about? Did Tua lose? Now let's address the 4 games that he claims that he lost, right? And again, Tua didn't play well in the 49er game. He didn't play well in the Chargers game. The Green Bay game, the second half of the Green Bay game. So that's 3 really games, right? That in my estimation, that Tua was not at his best. The Buffalo game in December, Tua played well enough to win that football game. Again, I go back to Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals when they played that same Buffalo team in the playoffs, right? Tua's numbers and Joe Burrow's numbers were fucking identical. What was the difference in the game? Their defense held Buffalo to 15 points. Ours gave up 36. That was the difference in the fucking game. So he didn't play well in 2 games with San Francisco as well as LA, and then you had the second half against Green Bay. Now, the question I posed to
were we not in? Which one of those games were we not in the fourth
exactly. We didn't get blown out by neither in either game, right? And then also, let me pose this question to the panel. And I am not, protecting Tua in any way. Tua, he definitely need to step up his play in two of those games, especially two of those games, the Chargers and 49ers. But let me pose this question to the panel, right? We all know Mike McDaniel sat up here after the, in the offseason. He's been apologetic. He's been apologizing to the world. Anybody that listened to him about him not diversifying the offense more, him not balancing the offense more. Now, I pose this question to the panel. If there's more balance against San Francisco or the Chargers game, do you think possibly we had a different outcome in those games in terms of the wins and loss?
Because we was in them in the fourth quarter.
So was that all on Tua? It was just all on Tua though, right? These fucking idiots, bro. You can't make this
some of the blame goes to Mike McDaniel.
Hold on,
these fucking idiots, bro.
He did play bad in San Francisco. We will give him that.
The San Diego game, I seen it. It just like he couldn't get nothing. Couldn't nothing get going, man.
Green Bay game.
Run game.
No, explain this chart to me, bro.
Hey, so
and being a game that he didn't play well, he also won some games he didn't play well in. I think we tend to lose sight of that.
Much better quality, Irving.
Wait, say that again, Crypto.
We played bad in some games. We also won as well. So
so basically, this is the chart that.
But he got credit for those though.
Yeah.
So basically, this is the chart. Oh, hold on. This is basically the chart what I was talking. This is basically the chart that I was referring to when I was talking about the performance between the starting quarterbacks and their backups. If you look at the Miami Dolphins, you look at all the way to the left, they led in terms of the gap, the performance in terms of EPA per play. That's how it's measured. In terms of compared to the rest of the NFL, the Dolphins had the biggest gap in terms of EPA per play between himself and his respective starting, backup quarterbacks compared to the rest of the other NFL quarterbacks.
Well, once again, Chad Henne is better than freaking Skylar Thompson. Whoop-de-doo.
So to all those people that were saying, that was trying to sell that narrative that Skylar gave us the best chance to win, y'all take a good look. Open your eyes wide, please, and take a look at that.
But what does that really say, though?
Again,
that's the terrible.
My point
that's
was,
when liars never figure and figures go lie.
No, all this graph is stipulating is that Tua gives us the best chance to win, and this is addressed to all of those people that were trying to sell that narrative.
By definition, does
no, but that's not what y'all was saying in the.
You want to tell me
this is going off of stats too?
Y'all weren't saying that last year. No, Crypto, stop. No, y'all were saying Skylar gave us the bit.
No one's saying no one's pounding the table that Garner Mitchell should be starting over Hurts.
No.
No one's pounding the table that Chad Henne should be starting over.
That narrative.
Y'all
were selling that narrative. Crypto, you included. Y'all were saying that Skylar Thompson is the best quarterback on the roster, and he gave us the best chance to win. Y'all were saying that last year. Stop it.
Ain't nobody say that, man.
I never said nobody.
Bro, y'all were saying that on multiple platforms.
If one person gives you a 26% chance and another person gives you a 20% chance, what do you do?
EM.
The outcome is still the same.
Well, to be fair, who was taking all the reps during the offseason with the number ones? I mean, I don't know, man.
To show this chart is this. Every starting quarterback.
Who was taking all the reps in San Francisco?
What's that?
Bullshit.
And who was taking all the reps in San Francisco?
Fucking rookie.
Did Garoppolo and Trey Lance take all the reps? Last time I checked, Brock Purdy was a scout team quarterback, right?
Gap like that.
Hey, but real quick, I just wanted to demonstrate with this chart. I just wanted to demonstrate.
Man, fuck that chart.
Okay, you're talking about a chart.
Chart
that's disingenuous by definition.
No, that chart. No. That chart right there, right, for all of those people that were selling that Skylar gave us the best chance to win narrative, that should put all of you motherfuckers to sleep right now. Put all of you niggas to sleep right now.
Okay, but real quick.
Go tell Andy Reid that freaking Chad Henne got a better chance of winning than just because the gap is closer between Chad Pennington and Mahomes.
Hey,
You want to
let's
say
get
the
some more.
freaking
Let's get some order established.
I mean,
One at
that
a
Chad
time,
Henne
fellas.
got a better chance.
One at a time, fellas.
Our going into 4-year quarterback is better than the fucking rookie. That's what we're bragging about. The fuck?
But listen, what I wanted to demonstrate with this curve real quick.
God.
Hold
Every
on.
quarterback starting by definition has a better opportunity. If you're going to say a manager's percentage points,
one mic, please. One mic, please. Thank you.
Crypto. Well, then why were you, as well as others in the community, trying to say that Skylar gave us a better chance to win?
I didn't say Skylar did. I said Skylar was almost giving us the same amount of chance to win.
Well, that graph obliterates that narrative too.
No, it doesn't. What's the percentile? What's the number then?
What?
And as far as the percentile, in relative to the rest of the
your
field,
narrative is true. Skylar should be closer on that graph to the level of production, per play as Tua.
I don't care about the rest of the league, but nobody else's second strings is giving them the opportunity neither. What they do?
Okay.
Hey, listen. What I wanted. Go ahead, EM. Go ahead. Finish.
Are you going to tell Andy Reid that he should start Chad Henne because he's closer to Mahomes than Skylar Thompson is to Tua? Is that your next argument?
That is not groundbreaking information right there. That is that all that graph is. All that graph is illustrating that. Again, and it's addressed to all these people that think there's a better option currently on this roster. It's just not. Tua is it is a massive gap between the level of production with Tua and everybody else in that quarterback room.
Okay, EM, let me say this. Let me say this, EM, the outcome and point differential was the same. When Tua played against the Bills, it was a 3-point differential, and when Skylar played them, it was a 3-point differential. So by definition, they had the same amount of chance percentage-based to win the game.
Hey, but listen, Chris, all I was trying to demonstrate.
The outcome turned out the same. 3-point differential.
Hold on. Hold on. All I was trying to demonstrate with this chart is that there cannot be this drop off between the different quarterbacks like this. Like, we have to get better performances from our backups because.
Oh yeah, I agree.
If we have a huge drop off in production when QB1 goes out, we have a greater chance of losing games.
Second year in the freaking offense for Skylar Thompson. It shouldn't be that hard to grasp the offense now in his second year in the league.
All I'm saying, overall, it doesn't have to be.
You guys like to say that Mike McDaniel and players in second year in this offense tend to freaking develop fast in this offense.
That's not just Tua, Crypto. That's Mike White and that's Skylar as well.
It's not. I'm not just pointing. I'm not making this about Skylar. I'm making this. What's up?
No, I'm just saying, Crypto, can you just let Irving finish and then you can rebuttal, bro, please? Thank you.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that, and this is not a shot at Skylar, just Skylar. This is our backup quarterback situation overall the past 2 years. We got to have a quarterback that can step in and we don't have such a drop off in production and that can give us a good chance of winning. That's all I'm saying. You cannot have that drop off in terms of EPA per play. That's all I'm saying. That's all the chart is trying to demonstrate.
Or our starting QB.
Is the head coach going to call the same plays as he do when the quarterback's in there with both quarterbacks in there? No, they're not going to do that.
Again, we're just talking about production.
There's a disparity in production is what Irving is trying to say.
Have the opportunity to
hear nobody, man.
Hey, man, didn't y'all just hear the man say one at a time? Come on, fellas, bro. Let's get some order established. Come on.
Thank you, EM. Appreciate you.
That's all.
My bad, bro.
There you go. Go ahead. Y'all can carry on. That's all I was trying to demonstrate.
Well, somebody please tell Andy Reid that Patrick Mahomes shouldn't be starting because we got a closer gap between him and Chad Henne than we do in our quarterback situation. So Mahomes should be benched by definition.
And Crypto, to your point, like our coaches got to do a better job of having our guys prepared and getting more reps in and stuff like that. That's all valid. I agree with that too as well.
And Mike McDaniel also acknowledged that last year. We heard him several times say that.
No, that was just him. That was Ian. We know that was a political stunt with him to follow like he was doing in his first year as a first-year head coach.
I don't think that was a political stunt, Chris.
No, I think so.
Yeah, I see through that nonsense. He was doing
that, bro. So that was on Scott. So Skylar,
his formula he used as far as the ratio was perfect because that was the Super Bowl running formula ratio that won it 17 of the last 20 years.
So crypto. So you're basically saying, so if he told everyone, right? He told us that he should have been more committed to a run game. Is that him just being political, or is that him acknowledging the
because a lot of
the
people was
current
pounding the
reality
table and try to roast
the
him for it,
problem?
and he was trying to fall on the sword to placate to the fan base. I see through that
So
nonsense.
so you don't think the
I ain't
offense
buying that.
you don't think the offense was imbalanced last year, crypto?
No, absolutely not.
Wow.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
All right.
It's efficiency that matters. You make what was given, the opportunities given to you. When it's called upon you to run the football, you run the football. You get in the end zone. It's not about yards. It's about scoring once you have the opportunity to score. What's the name? Put the ball on the floor, on the carpet in that Green Bay game. We had a 10-point lead. Mike McDaniel did turn to the run. Then it was a fumble in the running game that turned that game around. Let's not get selective amnesia.
Mike
McDaniel
game
did
was
his
that
job.
of the season? What game was that? What game was that? What game was that?
That was the Green Bay game when he did that. When he had
Green
a
Bay,
10-point
but what
lead.
week? What week was that? My bad. What week was that?
That was on Christmas Day. That was like week 14.
Week 14.
13,
Okay.
something like 14. Okay.
Again, the point
That's when
is
the opportunity presented itself.
Okay, he even acknowledged, right? When he decided to balance things out more, right? The offensive approach. Again, you wait till 14th, 15th game of the season to do that. That should be established from day one.
Yeah, his running backs didn't give him the confidence to freaking keep going with it because he put the ball on the carpet, and he went to what worked.
That's one game, bro. That's one
what
game.
brought him to. That's what brought him to the dance. And then the announcers even said it in that same game. It was the passing game that brought him this far.
Well, that obviously we can all agree. We can all agree the passing game is the strength and the focus of the offense. But you can't be that fucking imbalanced, crypto, and expect to win big. It wasn't
that imbalanced. We
ran the
balls. We
were 31st in the league in attempts. What are you talking about?
We had a 62-38 ratio. The Super Bowl winning team had the same ratio, even more skewed.
Oh my God, crypto.
I'm not going to go on McDaniel at that. If
at the end of the day, our
score touchdowns
healthy
when you run. My bad, Benjamin. No, I'm just saying when Mostert had that breakoff run in that Buffalo game for 70-something yards, let's not forget he didn't score on that play. And we didn't score on that possession, on that drive. We ended up kicking a field goal. But when we got a passing touchdown, when Waddle busted for 67, that was through the air when we was down by 8 points. There was a passing game that erased the 8-point deficit, not the running game, even though the running game was working in that game.
Crypto, who's disputing that? Who up here is saying the passing game is not the strength of this team? Who's up here saying that?
But nobody. You guys are implying that we should have not passed the ball at all in that game.
No, who said that? Nobody said that.
You guys are making it seem like just because we were successful, we were so successful running, you guys lose sight that we was just a successful 13.7 yards per passing play.
First off, I didn't say a damn thing about that goddamn Buffalo game. I don't know who you talking to right now. I don't know who you talking about. I didn't say a damn thing about that Buffalo game.
You're saying you didn't, Ian, but what I'm saying is I'm challenging the fan base and Mike McDaniel placating him to the fan base and that nonsense about people complaining about the Buffalo game.
I'm coming from a season.
No, I'm sorry. I wasn't talking to you. Go ahead.
My bad.
Yeah, Buffalo beat us in the old-fashioned TKO. They had the ball last. They scored last. It's just simple as that. It's an old-fashioned TKO. Let's just say what it was. If we would have had the ball last, that means we should have scored.
Bro.
But we didn't.
No, bro, nobody is sitting here saying that the passing game is not based off the talent alone, right? That should be the strength of the team. Tua, as well as this collection of skill position players. Yeah. But the point is, what you're failing to acknowledge is the fact that you cannot, I don't care how fucking talented your team is, right? When you look at the history of teams, right, that make long playoff runs, them teams tend to be more balanced than the others, right?
Yeah, more balanced to the point is 60-40. That's the new balance, EM. That's all I'm saying.
What's that?
Read that comment.
Keep that bait. I don't even know who that is, bro. I don't even know who that is. I have no clue who that is. But anyway, crypto, you're gonna sit up here and argue. You're gonna sit up here and argue with everybody, right? That again, don't take EM Dolphin fans' word or anybody's word on this panel. You're gonna argue with the head coach, A. B, you're gonna argue with Louis Riddicks of the world. You know what I mean? You're gonna argue with all of these people that
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying I see through their
all
nonsense.
off season when they talked about the Miami Dolphins. What was the biggest issue that was plaguing this offense? Lack of
efficiency.
Balance. You gonna argue with them?
Efficiency.
Okay, well you keep doing that. Keep doing that.
No efficiency. When you run the ball 4 out of 10 times, make the best out of the 4 chances you get.
I mean, there's nothing like this.
It was lack of Tua. That was the problem with our offense. At the end of the day, no matter what anyone is saying up on this panel, if you look at that graph, that should show you even more how much we needed Tua. If there's a big difference on the starter and then the backup, and then this dude's not available.
But that's not what we were told. A lot of people were saying
we're not.
But other people were saying that they didn't need Tua. They can win with Scott. That's what they were saying. They didn't need. There was no drop off, right?
Our defense. Didn't our defense get 7 turnovers in that game or 7 sacks?
That's what they were saying. They said we didn't need Tua.
But EM, if your defense gives you 7 sacks and 3 turnovers, you should be able to come away with a win, right?
When did they have? Oh, you talking about in a playoff game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how.
You should. You should.
Okay, you should be able to come up with the win.
Yeah, you should be able to. Yeah.
But you was just making the argument with this new level of talent and this new defensive superiority we have in the coaching staff that we should be able to win irregardless.
Well,
because if they're gonna produce the same amount of turnovers and sacks, we should be able to win.
Well, that's why. Listen, that's why. Again, I said that's why I preferenced everything on paper. We should be able to, because we know once on Sundays, once that ball is kicked off, it's so many variables that come into play. You got turnovers, right? You got so many things that could possibly affect the outcome of football games. But on paper, talent-wise, the talent that we have on a roster right now, yeah, they should be a 10 or 11 win team. So just like that game you just referenced, right? 7 sacks. All of that production you got from the defense, we should have run the game, but you didn't factor in them 3 interceptions Skylar Thompson threw in that game. You forget about those?
Well, that's us giving it back.
All right.
Too.
Let me ask y'all this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question.
I factored in Waddle's drops as well.
All right, let me ask y'all this question. Okay. What do you think? Okay, I would say the floor. What do you think the game difference is? Let's say I'm trying to figure out how to answer this. So, all right, let's say how would you say our season will go if Tua stays healthy versus if Tua misses 5 games? EM, what will be the reckoning difference there?
I'm sorry, Shake. Can you repeat that real quick, bro? My bad.
No problem. All right, what would you think? All right, I want you to give me the record of the floor of the record of the Miami Dolphins if Tua stays healthy, all 17 games, versus if Tua misses 5 games. What would you think our record be then?
Man, Shake, I hate making predictions, bro. I really do when it comes to win-losses. I generally try to stay away from that. But for the panel's sake and for the to answer your question, I truly believe if Tua is healthy, if everyone is not just Tua, but Tua might be the most important one in terms of, when he's healthy, when he's not. But there are other players on this team too that they have to be healthy for us to have a strong season.
Okay, so I want to say I'm going to preference this. Let me preference this then. Let's say the roster is. I would say I'm going to be generous. 85% healthy with Tua healthy.
I think this could be a 13-win team, bro. I do. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles last year, right? They're in terms of roster construction, they're very similar to ours, right? Level of play at quarterback, very similar to ours. Other than Jalen Hurts is more durable than Tua, but again, as long as Tua's healthy. But defensive-wise, talent-wise, why can't we be sitting here? How many games did Philly lose last year? 1 game, 2 games last year?
Yeah, 2.
I mean, why can't? And I know they're in a weaker conference in the NFC. I understand that, but I just truly believe in the overall talent. I just truly believe in overall talent with this team. This could be a baseline 13-win team, bro.
Let me ask me that, Shake. Can I get put some input on that? I say if Tua stays healthy, we win 12 games. If Tua misses 5 games, I say we win 10.
Yeah, I forgot to address it without Tua. Yeah, 10 to 11 wins
without
on paper. At least on paper right now, we should be without it.
Correct. I would agree with that. As far as on paper, yeah.
And I mean, you look at how just take the AFC. I just truly believe in his talent, bro. And it's like I'm beating a dead horse, but man, I don't think people realize how loaded this team is. And I mean, we have depth, we have some depth issues at some positions, and hopefully they address them as we get further into the offseason. But man, all of the components you look at Super Bowl winners, right? Pass rush, secondary, skill positions, and then especially if you go get a player the caliber of Dalvin Cook to add to what you already have. I mean, I'm telling you, bro, this team is absolutely loaded. And I just believe in the overall talent, and I believe in Tua. I believe in the coaching, most of all, especially on the defensive side of the football. I just think this team can be, 13 plus. I might have my homer hat on right now, but that's just where I'm at, bro.
But 10 wins might not make playoffs, though. Like I'm saying, without Tua. Like the division got way.
I mean, that is a good point. That is a good point considering the landscape of the AFC. The AFC is loaded as well.
10 wins may not be enough. You're right.
Yeah, it may not be, but also it may be enough because there was teams with 9 wins still was playoff contenders, vying for a spot at the end.
But do we?
It balances out eventually.
And then
there's how many people ahead of you in your division.
And then it's going to come down to them head-to-head matchups, man. 10 wins ain't guaranteed.
And look, and we talked about those games.
To lose and then someone else to
exactly,
lose.
Exactly.
And we talked about those games last year that we lost, that Tua didn't play well in, the team didn't play well in as a whole, right? I mean, the San Francisco game, the Charger game, obviously the Green Bay game.
Oh, he didn't play well. He didn't play well against the Pittsburgh game, though, bro.
Right. We play right. That's to say we play. He's also some games he didn't play too well in. We still won.
I'm talking about the losses.
He gets the win.
Okay.
Listen,
the losses. Okay.
So we were never, even with everything that happened on the defensive side of the football in terms of injuries, in terms of lack of play calling from Boyer at times. The defense regressed last year, and yet we were never blown out in any game. Not one. We in San Francisco, the Charger game and the Green Bay game, we were within one drive of winning those games, bro. As bad as we played. Then on top of that, you go to Buffalo, you have the game that you had defensively, and still our defense still wasn't at 100%. And you come into an offseason where you just add on top of what you had. You bring in a better coach, arguably the greatest defensive mind we've seen next to Bill Belichick, right? The last 10 years, 10, 20 years, and bring it in on top of that high-end talent. I don't understand why.
That's grounds for at least 3 more wins.
I just don't understand why our fan base is not higher in terms of the win-loss. And I get Tua's health is a major concern, but again, as long as Tua is healthy, man, I'm telling you, bro, this. I'm just saying, man.
You can't throw away the season of week 3 injury for guys on the team.
I ain't with that. Throw the season away after week 3.
Causing the offense not to have continuity because certain players causes more gravity and creates more attention to them upon themselves than others. Yeah, I can see that. But as far as signal callers, if those same gravity type players still gonna cause attention to with defensive coordinators, it's gonna still be hard to scheme against us.
What was that, Irv? What were you gonna say, Irv?
No, I was just saying I agree with you because I think with the improvements that we made in terms of coaching, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and if everybody stays healthy and given the talent that we brought in the running back room, you know, in the defensive back room with you know, with Agba coming back, you know, and Nick Needham coming back from injury and stuff like that. I think overall, I think that I think we have better chances of sustaining. You know, it just gives us overall a better chance of winning games than as opposed to last year. I think
Mike Greenberg,
but
Mike Greenberg the other day on Get Up, right? Who's a man? He's a devoted Jets fan, right? That motherfucker said, if Tua is healthy, this is the best team in football. That's what he said the other day.
Yeah, I mean,
he said, I agree. And he said, I'm a Jets fan. If Tua is healthy, this is the best team in football.
But if he's healthy.
And Ian, this is a nice segue into this chart right here. Again, proves it.
I get that,
Just
Ian.
proves
I will caution you guys not to fall for the okie doke with media outlets.
There's a lot of people that say that way. I'm just using him as an example. I'm not falling for shit, crypto.
No, I'm just saying these guys like who was always hating before. I'm not accepting their reversals because they're hedging their bet. That's no different from a hedge fund manager double down on the position that he shorted, and now he's trying to go long on the position because he lost $1 billion in the last portfolio. I'm not buying it. This hedge fund manager is down bad. He shorted the position, and I'm not accepting any long positions going forward on these guys.
And either way, this is a nice segue in Mike Greenberg's comment with a healthy Tua. You have a healthy Tua Tagovailoa. The Dolphins could possibly be one of the best teams in the AFC. I mean, you look at this chart, bro. I mean, out of 300 attempts, you know, out of 29 quarterbacks who had over 300 passing attempts, you know, usually with most quarterbacks when they throw downfield, usually the accuracy goes down.
It takes a dip. You're right.
Right, it takes a dip because you're involving more throwing power to complete passes 15, 20 yards downfield, but you're going to sacrifice a little bit of
lower percentage throws.
Yep, and look at the completion, and not only that, but you also got to stay in the pocket. You got to step up in the pocket. You got to give yourself time. You got to buy some time with your feet or ability to manage the pocket to help the receivers get open. And look at the completion percentage of passes completed 5 yards or more downfield, and look at the EPA, effective points added per attempt of those passes. Like the more he throws, the farther he throws, the EPA goes up. That means that the farther he throws, the more efficient he is.
That is astonishing.
And number one in EPA per attempt, number one in success rate, number one in first down rate, number one in yards per attempt, and number one in pass rating.
You cannot make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. But you got people. But you got a portion of our fan base that said the man is trash, though, right?
No, he's not trash. He just can't stay healthy.
Yeah, shit. What happened on Christmas?
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Where did all these stats?
Like show me the bar graph of his health.
Yeah.
Show me that.
You know what people talk about is
EM. Wait, hold on, EM. Who's saying he's trash?
Fuck that chart, man. Fuck that chart.
Listen, EM. Listen, I would say this, EM.
You're Fred.
I would say this, EM. No one's saying he's trash.
He just said, "Fuck that chart," is what he said.
Listen, EM. I would say this. I've said this before. Tua's popularity is no different from Kim Jong-un. His support is that strong in this fan base. We know it's a cult-like fan base, so no one hates the guy. It's no difference than Kim Jong-un's support in North Korea, goddammit.
I'm not trying to address anybody's feelings. I'm not trying to address anybody's opinion. I am here to address what the data says, what the film says, right? I never engage in feelings. It's all about the data and the film.
So what
no one said the man's trash.
You got people up on it.
I don't even think said he's
right now, right? Trash. And you got people up here saying, "Fuck that graph." That shit, you cannot make it. That shit is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, that's him, but I don't think Fred believes he's trash. I don't even think Pete thinks he's trash.
Listen,
that's neither here nor there.
Listen, the reason why
this shit is ridiculous, bro.
When Fred said that, that just proves the reason why Lewis has him on the menu every week.
Man,
cooking them.
got me. Man, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you like this.
Listen, Fred only said that because he loves Tua.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you like this. Most of them throws are fucking throws, and Tyreek just know how to fucking make the most out of the fucking play.
Oh, okay, all right. It's all Tyreek. Okay, all right.
So you're ignoring the chart. You're ignoring the chart. This is not taking into account Tyreek only, bro.
That chart is all just buddy. I see the game, bro. Most of that chart are the games that I've seen. Probably they all are, and they were just fucking throw it up throws, and Tyreek was adjusting to them. Don't give me that.
Somebody in the comment, ABAB. He just put a comment up and he said something about TD and Color said Tua trash. Has said Tua was trash many times. Let's be real.
No, that was platitude. No, that was them trolling. That's not the real. Hey, listen, ABAB is just being disingenuous. But
I don't think
that's what he said.
But listen, ABAB is just being disingenuous.
Yes, exactly. He said Tua trash because he was being sarcastic because. Everybody thinks that's how he thinks. We know that's not how he feels. And secondly,
those are platitudes.
Exactly.
But he can't stay healthy. Like at the end of the day, if Tua's not healthy, we're always going to be the shoulda, coulda, woulda fan base.
That's a fun chart though. But guess what? I'm not gonna say who we played against on defense, but a lot of people like to put out there. But the Jets fans also have charts about how well Sauce Gardner do against top elite wide receivers and how he was able to shut them down. And we like to roast their fan base on who their quarterbacks was on 7 of those games. But they like to put up a lot of charts on how they shut down every top 10 wide receiver to under 50 yards all season long. But yet we do the same thing when it comes to our numbers. It's funny how that works.
And we
like to roast the Jets fans when they put up charts about Sauce Gardner, how they shut down a lot of good wide receivers, including Justin Jefferson.
And we can't, and on top of that, we can't just be thinking of Tua. Okay, if Tua gets hurt mid-season, early in the season, the same thing is going to happen. He's going to have to close the season out. He's going to have to win some of these tough games at the end of the season. Which who do we have? Jets, Cowboys, Ravens, and I think Buffalo. So it's going to be the same thing all over again. Chargers, Green Bay.
I think. Look, listen. Go ahead, Benjamin. Go ahead.
Yeah, we get it.
No, I'm just saying it's going to be the same thing. He's going to have to close. He's going to get hurt in the season. Yeah. He's going to come back, and he's going to have to close out some tough ass games.
Yeah, I mean, I put it like this: like if
the schedule makers gave us a do-over. Put it like that.
Like if you take Tua's first 2 years, a lot of the criticisms that he's gotten were warranted. But you can't argue the season that he had in 2022 statistically and in terms of film and production. Like he was the best. He was a top 7 quarterback in the NFL in 2022. You can't argue that.
What I find so difficult when you talk about what the data and what the film is illustrating is that that's what the NFL uses to gauge how well a quarterback is playing and how well he's not. This is the system what the NFL uses, and you got people in the comments and up on this goddamn panel saying "fuck data." What? What world are we living in?
Come on, man. Come on.
I don't know who's saying that, but I didn't say that.
That's the dumbest shit. When I hear y'all sit up here night after night saying "fuck the data, fuck the film," that's the dumbest shit I have ever heard in my life.
Hey, Shake Money, get a picture of that steamroller. I think Fred is the driver of that steamroller. Get a picture of that steamroller, Shake Buddy.
I cannot
it's a
believe
slow-moving steamroller that they let themselves being run over by.
I ain't even drinking tonight either now.
That steamroller is got full steam ahead. Where's that steamroller at? It's in a narrow corridor.
Shit, I look at
you just gotta give that player credit, bro.
Like when he check me out, man. When, it's like when the man loses games. It's when the man loses games, it's how he loses them, bro. It's how he loses them.
Come on now.
And look,
And see, this how. Hey, real quick, look, real quick. This how hypocritical these motherfuckers are, bro. They will sit here and say, and I've seen them all do it. I've seen all of y'all do it. All of y'all. Y'all will sit here and say, fuck the data when it comes to Tua, but when you hyping up Jalen Phillips, when you hyping up Javon Holland, the first thing you motherfuckers will run to is the goddamn data. PFF, all of these analytical, right, to validate your point about every other
I'm not saying that. That's Fred. I didn't say that, but Fred doesn't believe in that, EM.
I don't say nothing about Phillips. I don't say nothing about Holland. I don't say nothing about nobody else, man. My issue is with this. Is with this dude. Is with this dude, man.
The only dude that matters.
It's where it is. It's like where he's so like.
You cannot make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up.
Where he's so dominant. I just don't see how he's just this dominant dude. I don't see it. Okay, you hit a couple of passes deep. Come on now, let's not. Come on, that's Tyreek adjusting
a couple, Fred. A couple.
Don't forget, he also hit Waddle. He hit Waddle across the middle. He had Gesicki deep. It just wasn't Tyreek Hill, bro, that he hit deep, bro.
He hit Waddle across the middle. Waddle was 10 yards open anyway. He should have hit that.
Yes, he hit Waddle. He definitely hit Waddle. Good point. That's why Mike McDaniel called a perfect game against the Bills, because he went to what worked. He hit Waddle deep on the passing game. He hit Waddle deep on the pass when we was down by 8 yards, and he went back to the well late in the game because it worked early.
Look, I'm gonna give you this
14 yards per reception that freaking he had in that game. He had a right to lean on the passing game because that's what got him out of the goddamn hole. So Mike McDaniel, in my book, gets a pass on the Buffalo game. He could say all he wants that he should have ran more. That's bullshit.
Without the amazing
Mike McDaniel called a perfect game against the Bills. And Tua had a perfect game, had a good enough game to win that game. So that's why Mike McDaniel kept calling passing plays.
Okay, hold on. Fred, go ahead, talk.
Me, you talking me shit?
Yeah, go ahead. What do you got to say?
Okay, man. And then, like, without the Baltimore game, we have nothing. We have nothing, and that's no. And to me, okay, the man.
It was just more than the Baltimore game.
The man put the ball up. The man put the ball up deep. But come on, man. Let's don't forget the fact they contained this man with 3 quarters, man. 3 quarters. Okay, now, all right, fuck it. It's 3rd and 10. Just let's just throw it the fuck up. Just throw it the fuck up.
This shit is funny as hell, bro. This shit is funny as fuck, bro.
This shit ain't funny, man.
I just want us to stop blaming Mike McDaniel for a Buffalo game, because y'all fell for the okie doke on him freaking. He should have ran the ball more. That's BS.
You think Tua is capable of having more of those Raven games?
Hell no. Hell no.
I mean, dude, we forget.
Hell no. Stop.
I don't think that wasn't Tua's best game. That was historic, bro. How many quarterbacks are throwing 6 touchdowns in a game? How many times have y'all seen that?
That doesn't happen a lot, EM. That's why I said it was an out-of-body experience.
I seen Bob Breesy throw 6 fucking touchdowns.
How long ago was that, Fred? How long ago was that?
I seen it, bro. I seen it.
How long ago was that?
It doesn't happen often. That's the point.
Anyway, I don't think
it doesn't happen often.
I don't think the Ravens game was Tua's best game. To me, it was a Cleveland game. That was the most dominant, most impactful Tua I've seen. It was for 4 quarters.
EM, you talking about game versus quarter.
I even say he had a great Chicago game. He had a great Detroit game. Yeah, he did, man. I was rooting for him. Come on, Tua, keep doing these motherfuckers, keep doing it. But
really? When was that? Go clip that. I'm gonna have to see that. Go get that video for me and clip it and send it to me. I'm gonna have to see that.
Hey, EM, I got a question, EM. You talking about game versus quarter?
That's what I thought.
Hey, EM, I got a question for you, EM.
Before you ask that question, unfortunately, Fred doesn't have social media, so when he does clip it, he's gonna send it to you. One of those pigeon via carrier pigeon.
I don't give a damn who clips it up. I want that footage. I want that footage, and I want it sent to my goddamn DMs.
Hell no.
Hey, EM, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, bro.
Hey, you said I agree. You talking about a great quarter, right? Right, but versus a great game against Cleveland. Is that what you're trying to say? Because the Cleveland game was more complete versus him having an out-of-body experience in the final quarter of the Ravens game. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I'm saying that was the most impactful Tua. I think not just Tua, but the overall game plan, right? That was the most balanced, right, game all year. And I don't think it was by coincidence. It was the most productive game we had all year. That is the formula to the Super Bowl. That is that formula, that blueprint. It needs to be copy and pasted and applied to every single game in 23. Yes. That is the best way we're gonna get to the Super Bowl.
I'm sorry, but you're right. I would agree with that. But yes. Given the context to that very same game, once again, we like to roast our fellow AFC East opponents about the backup quarterbacks that they played against. That was also a backup quarterback by definition that we played against Cleveland. So had they had their starter with that, we don't know if that would have been a game like the Chicago Bears game.
Well, no, because Jacoby Brissett played better than Deshaun Watson last year. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say.
Yeah, but you can't gauge it against somebody. But he's not a better quarterback. But he's not a better quarterback though. But he's still a backup.
He was better last year. He was better
But EM, who's the backup quarterback?
When Jacoby played and when Deshaun took over for him, Jacoby was the more impactful player last year.
But he played all the game. He's sitting 2 games.
The fact of the matter is, the production was that one guy was better than the other.
I could have came in and been better than him. But the point is, EM, he was the backup quarterback.
We don't need no goddamn we don't need no context. I don't care about the reason why. All I said was, right, because Crypto brought up the narrative, you had a plan against a backup quarterback. I said, so my rebuttal to that was, Jacoby Brissett was the better option last year. I'm not saying overall he was a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson. He was better last year. I don't care why
with a backup quarterback and that chance they had no opportunity.
One guy was more productive than the other. Period.
Barely more productive. Barely. And he was missing like 700 days of football. Playing against a guy that missed the 700 games, that's not a barometer of success.
I'm not sitting here. You're not listening, Crypto. You're not fucking listening. I'm not debating that Deshaun is not the better overall prospect. Nobody's debate, bro. But
that's my point.
And clearly see that. But last year, considering you can throw the layoff, you can come up with any excuse that you want. The fact of the matter is, one guy was more productive than the other. Period.
Chad Henne would have been more productive to him. So what? What'd he do?
No, what you said was, right? You said, again, and I might be adding words to what your statement was, but what you said was, he was playing against a backup quarterback. You're trying to diminish, right, the game that Tua had, in my opinion. Okay,
I'm not diminishing him. I'm using the same arguments that our fan base used against the Jets when they play against backup quarterbacks.
Let me dial that back and let me ask you a question. So your point of bringing up Jacoby being a backup, were you trying to diminish the game that Tua had?
No, I'm trying to kill that dumbass argument that our fan base used when they say the Jets are playing against a bunch of backup quarterbacks. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Let me retract that statement then. Let me retract that, right? Because I made the assumption that's what your point was. But my bad.
No, I'm just trying to kill that dumb narrative that people in our fan base always do when they say other teams are playing against backup quarterbacks, and they can use the same argument against us when we play against backup quarterbacks. That's why I try to stop them from using that dumb argument, because who's ever on the field is who we should gauge it against.
Tua's only two legit games I would say was the end of the Ravens game and the Buffalo game. That's it. All the other games was washes, especially the ones that he won. Those were all versus bad teams. Like, who cares? He beats the Browns, great. He beats the Lions, who cares? He beats the Bears, who cares?
You don't care about those games? Okay, all right.
No, I don't. I care about the games that you're supposed to beat, especially
you don't care the fact that you had to come from behind in both of those games. They had double-digit leads in both of those games.
Hey,
both of those teams you're talking about, those terrible teams, bro.
Okay,
you don't care about that?
Okay, upon that graph, he's supposed to be the best in the league, right? Upon that graph, he's supposed to be the best in the league, right? He's supposed to be the best in the league, right?
Well, that's exactly what he did.
He's the best in the league. All right,
No, I didn't say who said he was best in the league. Who said he was best in the league? Who said that?
Come on.
Well,
he had to bail out the defense too.
Listen, we got the best roster in the history of the universe. We should not lose a game this season. If we lose one game, the season's a wrap.
All we're saying is pray that Tua stays healthy and he can play the majority of the season. And having your quarterback healthy gives you the best chance of winning, and that's all that we're hoping, praying for. That's all we're trying to make an argument about. That's the point we're trying to make.
My
yes,
only
Urban,
point was
that goes for everybody in the NFL. I mean, every team.
I get that, but this is regarding our quarterback. That his biggest concern has been health, is availability, and if he stays healthy, and hopefully this off-season training program works the way he intended it to work, when we have him on the field, and he's our most productive quarterback, and he makes this offense go, and he gives us the best chance to win, and that's the whole.
In the narrative that those are bad teams, nobody gives a fuck. Well, why when the Browns play Joe Burrow and they're equipped, right, talent-wise, just as well equipped as the Dolphins are. Well, why didn't Joe Burrow match or exceed those numbers? Or
I think they may have split the season series.
Or like when Aaron Rodgers played against that same Detroit Lions team that you just shit on, why didn't he match or exceed the numbers that Tua had in that game?
It's a division game.
And he was at home.
That's true, but teams are going to play their division opponents a lot more tougher than they do against
y'all
other
need
divisions.
to stop this nonsense, bro. Y'all got to.
But when you say that, there's teams in the AFC East that we don't play well against.
Tua can come out and throw 50 touchdowns next year, and you motherfuckers will be sitting up here whining as to why he didn't throw 52.
That's not true.
If Tua throw 50 touchdowns, I'm saying he's a bad motherfucker.
I don't think nobody will be doing that.
That's not true.
That's what I'm going to say. He's a bad
I'm going to hold you to that, Fred. I'm going to hold you to that. Yeah. But see,
Joe Burrow.
Real quickly, Joe Burrow is going to play bad against teams in his division.
Quickly, by the way, I just want to let you know that if Tua throws for 50 touchdowns on the Fins Tailgate, I'm going to make a shirt with Tua Tagovailoa, Hawaii 5-0. And speaking of merch, we have a lot of Buffalo Bill fans that support the channel, so I came up with a jersey just for the Buffalo Bill fans.
I gotta see that.
Here we go. This is so you guys, it's coming to the merch store soon. So if you guys want to purchase your Buffalo Bills jersey, here it is, right here.
Hey, it's sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts.
Hey, EM, I got a question for you.
What's up, Crypto?
There's once upon a time that the great Dan Marino didn't do too well against his division opponents, but other quarterbacks against those same division opponents did better. Are we saying that Dan Marino is less a quarterback than Ken O'Brien because he fared well against our division than Dan Marino did?
No, what I'm saying is y'all shouldn't just sit here and shit on in fucking Detroit, bro. They was one game away from making the playoffs.
Yeah, that was by the end of the season, but at the time we played them, they was 4-8.
No,
EM. They were 4-8. Yes, they was 4-8. But what it is by the end of the season is different from what they were at the beginning.
What's up,
Jaguars were 2-7 when they started, but then they finished 6-0.
At the end of the day, Detroit was a legit team, bro. They were a legitimate team.
I'm not saying that they're not a legitimate
At the end of the day, but when we played them, they was atrocious, is what we said.
We're also saying that.
They hadn't even turned their season around at that point.
But we're also saying that Tua was an MVP caliber player. We're also saying that at one point during this time span, that Tua was an MVP caliber player. If you're an MVP caliber player during that time frame, right? No one is saying that Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, no one in their fan base is like, yeah, he had his best game versus like the Lions or the Browns and the Bears. No, they don't care about that stuff because that's what you're supposed to do. They only care about the games that matter. which were the Chargers.
Okay, well, I'll throw you one better. We played that same Baltimore team, right? Tua, we all know he threw 6
I just
touchdowns.
said that was a game. I just said that.
Oh,
that
okay,
was a
okay.
legit game.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I said Baltimore and Buffalo. I said that's it.
I mean,
he played both Buffalo games and he played really well against those.
But what I'm saying that you got to throw the division opponent matchups. You're going to play well or bad against your division.
Man, fuck
because they play you all the time.
Like, that's not groundbreaking.
Y'all are talking about.
But so that's why I say you got to throw that out.
So
but you're right, Ian. Is what I'm saying is when you play against teams in your division, that's given that you're going to have a bad game.
That's the thing. What's up?
It's no given.
I don't get how y'all bring up stats and potential.
Tom Brady used to have terrible games against the Dolphins, even over his 20-year career. What are you talking about?
It's not a given, though, and he also dominated them. He's had games where he thrown 4 touchdowns against us as well.
Yes, he did, but also it was always that second game
basically
that we played him that we get him.
It's a given that every division opponent, when you play
at least once,
you're going to be at your worst. Bro,
you're going to play bad.
So what were you saying?
Least
Go
once.
ahead. What were you saying? I didn't hear you. What'd you say? Go ahead.
No, I just don't get y'all's arguments, really, man. I mean, still stats look nice, and talking about potential MVP, it's all nice, but it's always almost. It's always almost and some bullshit about 10 fucking wins or we didn't get to the playoffs. Like, don't y'all get tired of that shit? I mean, god damn. Them fucking stats are fucking awesome, but we still came out of there with 10 fucking wins. If this quarterback's so good, if he would have played, if he would have been healthy, we should have won 3 more games, right? But god damn, I don't see how. I don't know. I guess I'm just different. I don't give a fuck about no fucking EPA and these fucking bullshit stats. In my opinion, I'm sorry. I just don't give a shit. You need to fucking get some or fucking I don't care.
That's where I am with it. That's where I am with it,
man. I'm just saying. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying fucking stats,
I
man.
agree.
No, there's a ton wrong with that, bro. How else are you gonna gauge? You know, again, I'm not saying it's the only thing, right? But that's the system the NFL has in place, bro. When they go to when Tua sits down. When Tua sits down to negotiate his contract, right? If he winds up being the guy, you know what the first thing he's gonna have a folder, right? And in that folder, he's gonna have a clip of the last 2 years of what the analytics are saying what type of player he is.
And they're gonna say that you weren't available.
That's true. You're right, Em. You know what? You know what, Em? In 2008, Chad Pennington
say that fucking stat. That shit is
Chad
dumb as
Pennington
fuck,
got
bro.
second. You know what, Em? You're right. Chad Pennington got second place votes for MVP by the season ended. By the time the season ended, he still was a finalist by the end of the season. By the time it ended, he didn't have a drop off in December. He didn't have a drop off in November. Even though he didn't throw a lot of touchdowns, but he was efficient enough to stay in the MVP conversation all the way through to the end of the season. That was your Chad Pennington. That was your Miami Dolphin-led Chad Pennington that had that. People like to conveniently forget about the numbers he put up that allowed him to be in MVP conversation. So let's not get selective amnesia that a Dolphin quarterback, other than Marino, that was in the chat, that was in the conversation. No, I'm just saying people like to conveniently forget that a Dolphin quarterback other than Marino was in the MVP conversation. That's all I'm saying. We have had Dolphin quarterbacks in MVP conversations other than freaking Tua and freaking Dan Marino. Chad Pennington was as well.
Pennington never played to the level of efficiency that Tua played in 2022.
He was still good enough that season to be in the MVP conversation to garner second place votes.
And that's fine.
That's the point.
I agree. Chad Pennington had a bounce back.
And Chad Pennington, as a New York Jet, actually had 100+ rating. He had a 70% completion percentage. He had all the great, fabulous numbers as far as accuracy and things like that, because that's what he was known for. People like to call him had a noodle arm, the same platitudes that they gave to Tua, they gave to Chad Pennington, but he was still efficient. That's why we bought into him, and that's why we got him.
All I'm saying is in that folder, when Tua sits in front of the ownership, in the front of the folder, it's going to have all his analytics, all the great stats. And in the back of that folder, it's going to have blank pieces of paper. He's literally not available. So it's like pointless. Like it's all
that's real cute. That is real cute.
I'm not saying
that is real
I'm
cute.
I'm not saying I'm a fan of Tua. I think when he's playing, I honestly think I might be a homer, but I honestly think he could be a top 5. At worst, top 7, but he's not available.
But I agree with like Benjamin. I see where I hear where you're coming from. But listen, when that's not entirely that's not entirely a great argument per se.
You just better tread lightly with that Spurs shit. Goddamn it!
You gotta remember, Chad Pennington.
You better tread lightly with that Spurs shit.
He was already a 10-year vet, right? He's been in the league or whatever. We're talking about Tua. And him, he is a young quarterback that is developing and he's growing as he's,
Who's been in the league 10 years?
No, I was saying when Chad Pennington was in Miami at that point, he was already a 10-year vet.
Yes, but he still came to a brand new offense and put up those numbers.
We already knew what he was.
He still came to a different system and put up the numbers worthy of MVP talk.
Remember, Tua is still a developing.
I mean, going to his 4th year, they are acting like he's been in the league 20 years.
Once again,
bro.
you're diminishing the fact that Chad Pennington came to a new offense.
You can't make this shit up. I mean, man.
That's where the argument falls apart, Crypto. And that's what I'm saying. We don't know what his ceiling is.
It doesn't, because Chad Pennington came to a new offense. He still came to a new offense. Chad Pennington came to a new offense. He had to learn a brand new offense with a brand new team.
Again, not a great comparison because,
the point is he put up enough performance to garnish MVP conversation.
And that's fine. But again, when we're evaluating the two players, one was already an established quarterback.
One of them had one game. Yes, one of them had one game where he had 6 touchdowns, and it didn't take Chad Pennington a 6 touchdown out of body experience type game to garnish that type of accolades and talk. That's what I'm saying.
Can you let the man finish his point, please?
I wasn't finished saying what I was saying. He's out there putting up platitudes.
I'm not putting up platitudes. It's just like I said. I don't like that. I don't like making that type of argument because, like I said, like with Chad Pennington, we already knew what type of player he was coming in.
But there's no guarantee.
Go ahead, finish, bro.
I was just saying that when it comes to when it comes to comparing Chad Pennington at that point of his career, Chad Pennington was already an established quarterback. We already know what his ceiling is. We already know what his capabilities are. Tua was only entering his 3rd year as a young quarterback. He's still developing. Like we don't know where his ceiling is.
I don't understand. How can you not understand that?
Yes.
Hold on. Now let me give a chance, Crypto, to rebut real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's absolute BS to the point of fucking gaslighting. Listen, the whole point I was making about Chad Pennington, you go so hard on fucking damn ratings and all these goddamn numbers and stuff. And I'm saying, and Chad Pennington in a brand new goddamn offense put up the similar goddamn offense, goddamn it. The point I was making that even when freaking Geno Smith put up the same goddamn similar numbers in a brand new offense that he went in Seattle and got a part of the MVP conversation with 4,000 plus yards, a touchdown to interception ratio that's north of 3, almost goddamn 4, in a brand new offense and a brand new system and a brand new thing. But it's no guarantee that a quarterback's going to come to another team and freaking put up the same numbers like Chad Pennington and freaking Geno Smith did with their brand new teams, because there's other quarterbacks that didn't do that. They do the same thing that Geno Smith and did with his new team, and Chad Pennington did with his new team, became a part of the MVP conversation. It's about being a part of the conversation. If you're going to be a part of the goddamn conversation, be a part of the freaking discussion at the end of the table when the dust is settled. Not the last 5 games, say I was a part of it when the last 5 games start. You need to be at the conversation at the goddamn dinner table when the season and the dust settles. There was 5 finalists in the MVP conversation by the end of the season. You don't be a part of the conversation without being at the goddamn dinner table when it ends. You can say things are flashy all you want, but when you're in the conversation, I don't want to hear about conversation. Tell me that you're going to be at the dinner table when the dust settles and when dessert is served, goddammit. When dessert is being served, I want you at the dinner table and as a finalist. An MVP finalist is what I'm talking about. That's all I'm saying. Being a part of the conversation is different from being an actual finalist. You want to know what didn't make him a finalist? The last 5 games of the season didn't make him a finalist. That's what I'm talking about. And you want to say because he missed games? No, because Derrick Henry missed a lot of games. The last 5 games of his MVP type performance when he was a part of the conversation. But guess what? He missed 5 games, and guess what? He still garnished enough for first place votes to be a finalist, even missing the last 5 games of the goddamn season. So I want to hear about no excuse of missing games at the end of the season because he wasn't a finalist. No. Conversation, yes. Finalist, no. Be a finalist. That's why I brought up Chad Pennington to begin with. He was a finalist. That's the argument I made for Chad Pennington.
Crypto.
Oh man. Turn up, crypto.
Hey, listen. But see,
my question to crypto is
quick. Hold on.
Like who is trying to debate
to say fuck the stats is because there are plenty of quarterbacks that have put statistically one season together that is good. I mean, we're talking about fucking Nick Foles. We're talking about Doug Flutie, Gardner Minshew.
Oh God.
You know what I mean? That's where he falls in. He's put one fucking good season together, not 2. He's been in the league for 3 years. We're going on 4 years, and we only won 10 fucking games. So what the fuck are we going to be talking about EPA? Take that shit and shove it up your ass. If you, in my opinion, I'm sorry, but that's the way I feel about it. God damn.
They going
that
ham tonight,
that shit is fucking ridiculous.
They going ham tonight, bro.
That shit is fucking ridiculous.
9 games.
But back to crypto, I wanted to ask crypto a question. Like crypto,
what was
like,
it, Who
the fuck was debating?
Man, damn, bro.
I'm still trying to get the relevancy of your whole 30-minute soliloquy, bro. What is the point of? I think we all can acknowledge Chad Pennington was a finalist. He was an MVP finalist. Nobody was debating that, crypto.
Again,
no.
You didn't answer my question at the time. Chad Pennington. Go ahead, crypto. I'll let you answer. Go ahead. Finish your point. Answer.
What I was trying to say in that soliloquy, that a lot of people like to go all in, full board when it comes to specific numbers. Great, they are in Tua's favor. However, the ratio of games played versus the games that he didn't perform so great in is what I was bringing to the forefront. No one's what I was saying when people like to say he's in the conversation, they just leave it at that and just let it hang as if he was a finalist.
But no, crypto, you're trying to put words to the man's mouth. When he made the statement, Tua was in the MVP conversation over the course of 2022. Was any part of that unfactual, crypto?
Not for the duration of the season. He was no longer in the conversation.
In 2022, I mean, and you can say that about any player, right? That were mentioned at some point during the season, right? That's all he was saying.
And that's the argument I was making. That he was.
You're adding what you're trying to add to what the man said. All he said was he was mentioned in the MVP conversation during this past year. That's all he said.
Okay, and I was also trying to tell you about other quarterbacks that people that don't think highly of. They don't need to go in on the conversation language as much because it gets skewed because a lot of other quarterbacks that we don't think highly of, aka Geno Smith, was also in conversations at one stretch of the season.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
We
it doesn't make it like a great attribute. So they technically are not really lifting Tua up when they say that.
But you're not addressing the point that Irving was trying to make, bro. You're not addressing that.
I mean, but what point other than him being in the conversation that he was making? Everybody knows that.
If you would just listen to the man and let him land, you will understand.
Yeah,
you will
I
hear
wanna
him.
hear him now, man.
Crypto.
I got you. I was just hearing the whole conversation talking. That's what kind of throws things off.
Let him finish. And he just said you didn't answer his question. You just went off, bro. You didn't even answer the man's question. So all I'm saying is so we can move forward and we can have a productive conversation. Listen to what the man is saying first before you go off on 30-minute soliloquies, bro.
All right, let's hear the man out.
I heard him.
That have no relevancy to what the point the man was trying to make. Go ahead, Irv.
No, he was throwing up charts and stuff.
EPA stats. Listen, all I'm saying, when we're evaluating Tua as a 5th overall pick, right, as a young quarterback who's entering, when we had questions, like when we're doing our evaluations, is that's what I'm trying to say. When you look at his 3-year progression, right, when you look at his jump from year 1 to year 2, and you look at him in year 3, and he put up that production compared to his first 2 years. In terms of the way you're evaluating him as a young, prospect, as a young as a young developing quarterback, that is what you're trying to see when you're a franchise and you're trying to, when you're making a consideration and extending him or et cetera. He is, and especially given the resources that you put around him to help him, to help him succeed, he's giving you that return on your investment, right? Like if you look at all the numbers that he put up, that is a return on your investment. But when you look at Tua is a young developing quarterback. He's only entering year 4, right? It takes 3 to 4 years to see, to develop these type of quarterbacks. And then when you get to year 4, let's say, to be fair, let's say year 4, the end of year 4. Well, you go back and if he plays well and he continues to improve and he continues to put up these stats or better, that's when you go back, right? You go to your end of the season evaluation of that year 4, and you make that. You look at you go back and you look at the jump in production. You look at the development of the quarterback, and that's what you're going to base your decision on. That's where you're going to your base your choice. So when you talk about like guys like Chad Pennington and Geno Smith, like Chad Pennington, I'm like, listen. And what point did he have those? Was he in the MVP conversation? Like this guy was in year 9, year 10 already. He was already an established veteran quarterback.
He wasn't in year. No, he wasn't. He wasn't in there that long because in 2002 when he was with.
Go ahead, finish. You're finished. You're saying.
All I'm saying is, if you look at Geno Smith, like Geno Smith has been in the league since 2013.
Damn.
Geno Smith has been in the league since 2013, and he finally, when he is able to put it all together, he was able to have that productive season. And you look at Tua, like he had that season in year 3.
All right. Now let me give Crypto his chance to rebuttal.
Oh man, Crypto ready to punch on something right now. I know
once again, the goddamn gaslight he fucking continues. Once again, the motherfucker didn't listen to a goddamn thing I just said. So what? He did it in year fucking 9 or 20 or year 55. The point is he did it in a brand new system. Irregardless, he had to learn a brand new offense, brand new coaching staff, brand new everything. And there's a lot of quarterbacks that also did it in year 3. So don't give me this crap about it's some revolutionary that a quarterback can take a brand new offense in year 3 and do something spectacular like be a part of the conversation or be a part of the conversation. Yes, there were quarterbacks that actually did it in year 3.
Turn up.
Well, he's part of that Crypto, but he's part of that conversation because he like, and I'll give you some input. I'll give you some credit. I'll agree with you to a point. Well, Tua is in that conversation with like a Lamar Jackson and like a Chad Pennington, and they're in a new system and a completely new scheme. and they were in the MVP conversations in their first year of the NFL. So just having him in that conversation should be a positive thing if you're a fan of this team.
Nah, I mean,
But
Lamar Jackson.
Being a fan of the team is not a preference on whether or not being a
Lamar
whether or
Jackson
not
won the
your
MVP
quarterback's in the
second
conversation.
All right,
He wasn't in
let
the
me.
conversation.
I want to put my 2 cents into this real quick. I think what Irving is trying to say is the fact that even though he didn't finish in the MVP finalist, being that he was mentioned in the MVP conversation is a right step, is a good step in his early career. Maybe by year 4, year 5, he'll be a finalist. But as far as last year, being that he was mentioned in the beginning, shows that his growth is that he's growing, number 1, and number 2, he's heading in the right direction.
Yeah, but this is a new
no one debated that. But the point is to be in the conversation in the last part of the season.
But this is a
new.
new. You don't got
but
until year 4.
I think I'll let you go, Benjamin. But I think the point he's trying to say is, all right, Chad Pennington was a finalist in year 9, so Tua essentially has about 4 more years to be a finalist in one of those seasons. So you know what I'm saying?
And he has a better forecast. All I'm saying is he has a better forecast.
Because Chad Pennington was in it earlier in his career when he was with the Jets.
I agree too with that as well.
Yeah, beautifully explained, Shake Money. Thank you.
No problem. But go ahead, Benjamin.
No, I was just saying, like, I agree with both points, but this is a new day and age, new football. You don't got 10 years. Like, you don't got 10 years to like develop. This isn't old school football. Like, you got maximum maybe 5. Like, honestly, for Tua, it's probably what? Let's all be honest. Like, it's probably this year. If he doesn't do what he's supposed to do and doesn't have the same type of performance, if not better, and then we also have to win and make playoffs, we can't go 8-9, 9-8. We can't do that again. Then Tua's done.
I will say this though. I'll say this. I do agree with Benjamin's concern about his durability. If Tua can't stay on the field, bro, I mean, you know, and really, you really even have to take into because even if he is better than what we saw last year, I mean, bro, your durability is everything. I can't evaluate you if you ain't on the field. So, man, it's going to be a tough situation the Dolphins will be. And again, I'm knocking on wood right now because I'm praying Tua play 17 games.
That's why that's the biggest concern, bro. Yeah.
But even if he does, even if he's better than what we saw, if the numbers say that he's better, right? We can have a winning record went up until he gets hurt. Man, that's a tough situation for the Dolphins to be in because, you know, you got a high-level player, right, that's giving you high-level, high-end production, but he can't stay on the fucking field. That is the worst. Because what are you going to do? Are you just going to disregard the production, right? Are you just going to just ignore that and go to option B, or are you going to continue to go with Tua, but you can't count on him to be on the field? That is a very difficult position to be in.
What did the Rams and Redskins do with Trent Green when he wasn't durable? If y'all want to go down to durability,
can we talk about? Can we talk about the?
Hold on, Fred. Let TDR go first, and then you could have it after him. Go ahead, TDR.
All right, bro.
I just want to talk about the production real quick. I mean, 295 yards average per game, and we're talking about 12 games. If we extrapolated it to 17 games, you're looking at over 5,000 yards. The red zone conversion, number 1. So what that tells me is it's not a quarterback problem.
Shake Money.
It's not a quarterback problem. It's not a quarterback problem. It has to do with something that's happening before we score the points. But it's not a yardage problem. So there's, to me, the only logical explanation is there's a play calling issue.
All right, go ahead, Fred. Go ahead, Fred.
So Tua gets hurt because of play
Crypto.
calling.
Fred, and then Crypto. Go ahead, Fred.
I just want to ask this, man. All right, say he does play 17 games. Say he does play over 17 games, man, all season. Play 17 games. We go 9-8.
How statistics work and trends work.
Again,
this is ridiculous.
And we go 9-8 again. Then where are we at? Where are we at with Tua then?
We're drafting. We're on. We're on to the next QB.
What are we going to do then?
I'm not doing that bullshit again.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
go
play the
9
whole
and 8
season.
with all. Wait, you can't go 9.
This is where I have a problem. Okay, you go ahead and play the whole season. You don't miss any games, but you go 9 and 8 again. So where's that?
You can't go 9. You can't go 9 and 8 with this roster, with all these.
You saying we can't, but.
No. I'm saying Tua can't. He can't afford.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, so
he
that's
can't.
that's where I am with it. You know, my issue ain't if he plays. My issue ain't if he plays 17 games. Shit, you can run the ball. You can run the ball all damn season. That'll guarantee him damn near playing the whole season. You know, but where are we at when we go 9 and 8 again?
We're on to the next QB. Tua cannot afford to go 9 and 8 again. I'm sorry. And Mike McDaniel cannot afford to go 9 and 8. None of these teams can afford.
It's that simple, bro.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey, guys, I gotta get out of here, bro.
All right, man. All right, brother. Be safe, man.
All
Thank
right,
you for the. Hey, by the way, thank you for. Hey, anytime you if you're on a panel and I'm hosting, please feel free if you want me to show you something. Please feel free to do it again.
I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it, man.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, man.
All right, fellas. All right, Crypto. Nice back and forth. All right, Esther, Fred, Benjamin, TDR.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to say this
what
much,
QB? Let me read this comment. Then I promise the floor is yours, bro. What QB did it in 3 years with a new offense that season?
What QB?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is he saying that like only two was it like capable of doing what he did? Or,
that's what he's implying.
Because I'm pretty sure Lamar Jackson came in mid-season of Joe Flacco, didn't know the offense. He came in mid-season, made playoffs when they weren't going to make playoffs, and in the second year, he actually won the unanimous MVP. Like that's called giving return on investment.
And they had a new offensive
why I try to tell
corner.
people not to go so hard on
yeah,
one
and they
side.
had a new offensive. He had a new offensive
other people as a
well, the thing about the second year, the second year
yes.
they got Greg Roman who did wonders for Kaepernick. But go ahead, Crypto. What were you gonna say, bro?
No, I'm saying we go so hard on one set aside at one group of stats that's favorable to one player or another, not realizing those things have been attained throughout the league, regardless in era, given the time that they was playing. That's the argument I was trying to make when I brought up Pennington example and other quarterbacks this year. That was a part of the conversation. But all I was saying was that when you do that with numbers, there's a saying, Shake Money, that says that figures never lie, but liars go figure.
Mm-hmm.
In that sense, when we use numbers like that, we're becoming liars that go figure and not letting the figures speak for themselves that doesn't lie. And this is what I mean by that. When we say that, we say, oh, well, he was this, and this, but not giving the ratio on what those numbers are in comparison to games that's on the field. A lot of people make the argument about it's about durability, not given the context of the trajectory of what happened in the last 5 games of the season. Case in point. Yes, the first 12 games overall could be considered a B grade in its totality, but your trajectory at the end of the season was trending D minus to damn near F as far as the totality of the final 5 games, added with the B plus or B games that he was giving you over the first 3 quarters of the season. That's what I'm saying. Those numbers can go. It's about trajectory. It's like in the world of finance and the stock market. When you have a stock that's trending up for the first quarter or 3 quarters of the season, but in the final quarter of this season, when your portfolio takes a nosedive, a la like the .com burst, and it takes a just nosedive, that's the trajectory only. You got to go by the average over the final 5 to say, hey, you can't just say he'll continue to throw for 290 or almost 300 yards a game, not given the context of who we might play and what style of defenses we might play based on the yards he had against those defense historically. You can't say that 295 was going to be achieved if he was slated to play those same teams. Then, yeah, you can say mathematically based on what he did against other teams, he might do it. But you got to say, what did he do against those teams when he played on when he was on the field against those teams? What was his numbers against the Jets when he actually played the Jets? What was his number against the Patriots this year to say he would have replicated that when the Patriots defense got better at the end of the season? So we can't say that he's automatically going to get 295 on average for the final 3 games, because we're playing a different style defense, and we got to base it on how he did historically against that same Patriot team that has gotten better over the last part of the season.
Yeah, man, I want to say something real quick, because I don't think you could say that somebody that says that these stats ain't worth the shit is a bad take. Here's why, in my opinion. This is all I gotta say, and then I got a bounce.
Go for it, bro.
All that means to me is when I get to the point to where I don't care about your stats, all that means to me is that you're not a franchise guy. It's the same thing what happened with Derrick Rose when he was in Chicago. He had
is that two in a sports uniform?
Yeah, that's BW.
No, that
generational talent right there. But yeah,
that's a lot better prospect than Tua. But I'll say this: that's the way I feel. I just feel that when you got to get stats to prove your point, and you're consistently dealing with the same thing over every year, over and over, injury. Like, it's almost like if it happens again, he's just not a franchise guy. He's just the guy that can put up good stats. He can give you some exciting games, but he's going to be a journeyman forever that has good stats. He's never going to be a franchise guy. That's where Tua's like redlining it. Like, that's where he's at. He either, makes the entire season this year, and then we can talk about these stats, in my opinion, or, he's not the franchise guy,
Yeah, for sure.
So that's where he's at. In my opinion, that's where he's at until it happens. I mean, it's nice to look at stats, but he's got.
I totally hear both of you guys. I mean, I understand completely, Crypto, what you're talking about. There's, not everything is apples to apples as far as different teams. And then I don't know what the guy's name is that just left.
Esther, you talking about Esther?
Esther, okay. And I completely understand that there is a big question mark when it comes to if this guy can stay on the field. But so I can look at it from your perspective, Crypto, and you say, those other more talented defenses, they stop this guy. But what I'm saying is, even though he played these games that were not good for him in his favor, he still had the number 1 passer rating in the league. But then circling back to the fact that he played terrible against the San Francisco 49ers and the Chargers, I mean, that's got to be play calling. And that's what I thought it was when I watched the games. I mean, it didn't
for sure.
To San Francisco, like, he did mess up quite a bit, but I don't know, man. And he got back on it, and he was pretty good against the Bills. He's pretty good against Green Bay until the concussion. So, I mean, I want to see consistency out of the guy, of course, like what you're saying. But, I think statistics are important for us to understand the projection of this guy going forward.
Yeah, and by the way, real quickly, I guess they teams throw up banners, whatever. I guess I got an early preview of one of Buffalo's Bills banners before when the season starts. Congratulations.
Yep.
That's their one hanging.
That's the one.
That's a new banner that's gonna hang. But no, I agree with you as far as I think that McDaniel was, he was trying to stick to what they say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? Mentality, where he was calling the he was doing what was working and then when it stopped working, he didn't make the proper adjustments.
It's like what Mike Tyson says: everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, return on investment means wins. I don't care if Tua is top 5. I don't care if he's top 20. If we're getting wins and we make playoffs and we make a run, that's all I care about. All this other stuff is irrelevant. Like Tua could have the best year and he's top 3 QB, and then we shit the bed again. So like, is he really my franchise guy? Like, do we have a Matthew Stafford in our hands? Like, I need a guy who can give us wins. That's all that matters. All this stuff like he was the top, passing rating and all that. None of that stuff matters if you can't give me wins. Now, if you can give me both, cool. But you can't give me all that top 5 stuff or whatever in these graphs, and then it equals to 9 and 8, and health is included. That's all that I'm saying. Like 9 and 8 just can't do. I can't see 9 and 8 again. I can't see that again on paper.
And that's fair. All I'm saying, I don't want. I know people think I'm a Tua hater and I'm like Pete. No, that's far from the truth. I'm saying here that the jury.
They think of me of that too, Crypto, man. They call me
The
that
jury.
too,
All I'm saying is that. All I'm saying is that the jury is still out on the guy. Let's pump the brakes. We know what we got. We're not saying get rid of the guy. Well, at least I'm not saying get rid of the guy. It's just we gotta wait another season to see whether or not that trajectory or that either trend is the first 11 and a half games is what he going to be for the rest of his career, or the final 5.5 games is going to be what he's going to be. Is all I'm saying. Don't give us a Jekyll Hyde season. Give us Jekyll or Hyde. Don't give us both. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
No worries,
that's what I mean by the jury is still out.
You have a good night, Filthy Cat. We're about to wrap up in 20 minutes anyway.
Yeah,
but anyway,
it's not saying he can't be. He can't be the franchise guy. It's just he hasn't solidified himself as the franchise guy because of the concerns of consistency.
I mean, I totally agree.
By the way, one real quick, Spider-Man says, I forgot to mention this in the argument, Crypto. A huge part of why Channing Pennington was in the MVP conversation was because of the gimmicky Wildcat offense, mostly run through Ronnie and Ricky.
But you still have to be efficient, even though you have a Wildcat. When called upon to throw, you still got to be efficient enough.
Exactly.
You can't be Rodney Pete.
He didn't have an arm at all, but he was efficient.
I'll put it. But put it like this, Irvin. Was Rodney Pete or Andre Ware part of the conversation because they had Barry Sanders in the backfield? No, they didn't, because they didn't perform once Wayne Fonts called upon them. You still got to perform when called upon, and that's what Pennington did when he was called upon. So just because you have an efficient gimmick offense in the running game doesn't guarantee you're going to be in a conversation as a quarterback. Because Rodney Pete or Andre Ware had the best running back in history, and they damn sure enough didn't sniff conversation of MVP.
I don't think he would have been in the conversation of MVP in this league. I mean, we're so used to Herbert, Allen, Mahomes, all these like Hercules dual threats. And, somebody like Drew Brees, Chad Pennington, they go overlooked. I mean, honestly, I thought Jalen Hurts should have probably been MVP.
Hey, Shake.
Yeah, Mahomes was the reason why Hurts wasn't the MVP, to be honest with you.
Shake, I'm going to give my final thoughts now, man. With that, I'm going to say go Fins. And I'll check you guys out, man.
All right, brother. Be safe.
All right.
Hey, Fred.
All right, Fred.
You got my email, right, this time? You wrote down? Oh, never mind. But go ahead.
No, I'm saying I agree with TDR when he said Hurts should have been, because Mahomes is the only thing that stopped Hurts from being MVP. If Mahomes wasn't in the league, then Hurts most likely would have been MVP.
I think it's egregious that Hurts isn't on Madden 24.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know why they put Josh Allen on there.
Yeah, he had a way better season than Allen. Yeah, much better quarterback.
They're really trying hard to push that Josh Allen narrative. Like, he didn't even play well last year.
Exactly. I agree. He should have never been on the cover.
I'm telling you, man, they're all upset with the Hercules.
Maybe he gets the Madden jinx and it works out in our favor. He just freaking. What happened when Eddie George went down? How many games was it when he was on the cover before he went down? Like the first 2 games, something like that. No. Yeah. So the Madden curse is alive. That'll work out. That'll definitely help out. He didn't deserve to be on that. You're right. They just gave it to him because they pushing him. I think it's more they catering to the Bills. They so want the Bills to win, but that's what they're trying to do. They just catering right now to the Bills.
Aaron Rodgers is going to have a losing season. He's going to be on Madden next year.
Yeah, that would be funny if he ended up with a losing season and then they put him on there. Yeah, that'll be weird. Speaking there, actually, I think he may have had 1 year where he was on it. I think he was on.
Yeah, I think so. Back 2010.
Yeah, the
When
2
they
years
won.
after they won it. You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
He did have it on one.
But he's
1
not
year.
the same guy, man.
He had it. Yeah.
I just don't understand why they think they're going to get 2010 Rodgers.
That's just Pete. Yeah. Pete's the only one saying
that. Would be the whole thing that he might have Brady like second half of his career where things start going his way like Brady.
Yeah, but listen, at the end of the day, bro, Brady had the previous year, I think the 2 top 10 wide receivers, Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, and Leonard Fournette. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, he
they were the best receiving core collectively in the league.
Have, nowhere near that offense, and plus Mekhi Becton too.
Yeah. They may have a good enough offensive line like that Tampa Bay team, but they might not have the weaponries, like you said.
And what's funny is
bottom 5. I don't know. I mean, they're projected to be bottom 5 offensive line.
And what's funny is once they found their groove,
tackles get hurt.
Once they found their groove at the end of the season, it was a wrap. There was no stopping them.
Damn.
Because in right. Tampa Bay, they started off slow, but like I said, once they found their groove, once they found their niche, they were like a steamroller.
Yeah.
Most of that offense going through Breece Hall. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, probably. It's going to be. He's going to get a large carry, a large amount of touches this year. I can see.
Yeah, so that's why I don't think Dalvin Cook is going to go there, because I think Dalvin Cook is going to will make an impact, but I don't think he's gonna put him over the top.
Right, get enough carries to put.
Yeah, you can't run 2 running backs at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Garrett Wilson is nice, but did you see his catch percentage?
Mm-hmm. I don't know what
Garrett Wilson's catch percentage is pretty god awful.
Yeah, he was down there toward the bottom half of the league as far as percentage. Well, he got the rookie of the year or offensive player of the year or something like that because of the yards or touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, its catch percentage is bad.
As far as I'm concerned, I like our offensive. I like our defensive lineup. I like our secondary. I think our secondary matches way better. I mean, matches well against their wide receivers. I have no worries about that. You know what I mean? As far as, and I think the offensive line the defensive line will do better than their offensive line. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, man.
Right.
Kader Kohu is going to lock it down in the slot. It's going to be an abnormal thing to see these 3 guys, Ramsey, Howard, and Kohu. It's just going to be crazy, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
That third wide receiver is going to be key. Defense against the number 3 receiver is going to be the biggest key. If you can stop the number 3 receiver this year, then that bodes well for our defense, because that's what teams are going to try to attack.
Who is their wide receiver 3? Do you know?
Probably Lazard now.
What about Cobb? What about Cobb? Who?
Yeah, Cobb will be number 2, and Garrett Wilson will be 1, and I think it'll be Lazard will be their 3.
And how about New England? Who is their 1, 2, and 3?
They're hoping D-Hop.
It's going to be if D-Hop's there, he'll be 1. Myers, is he still? Did they get rid of Myers?
Nah, they got rid of him. It's Juju.
Yeah, it's Juju.
So now it's Juju, and then Parker would be 3.
And then of course Gesicki too. Don't forget Gesicki
would be the.
He's gonna do well there.
Receiver.
I know we were kind of shitting on him earlier, but like he's gonna do well in that system.
Who do you think?
Yeah,
who do you think they're going to put Gesicki on?
and,
Who do you think is going to
Henry,
lock up Gesicki on in our secondary?
Ooh, we'd like to see what the matchups was like in practice. When they was practicing against our first team, was Gesicki getting the best of them? We're gonna find out whether or not our first team guys was getting manhandled by Gesicki or not. Because we don't do well historically against tight ends, so it's gonna be a good test for us whether or not Gesicki can have a breakout game or whatever. Because we struggled against Furham, a freaking Pittsburgh tight end. Crying out loud.
See, here's what I could see. I could see, and as far as because Juju Smith-Schuster, I really don't see him. I see him as a borderline 2 at best. You know what I'm saying? At that, you know what I'm saying? I could see him being covered by our rookie. What's his name? Our rookie cornerback that we acquired.
Cam Smith. Well,
Cam Smith. I could see him being covered.
I think got the ability shape. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I could see him being covered by Cam Smith and then Gesicki being covered by Ramsey. That'll be a good matchup.
To make their best weapon, perhaps to cover the best weapon, or they third. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cover Gesicki because one thing about Ramsey I like about Ramsey is that he has the ability to play all over the secondary. He's not just a boundary
if they go
guy.
11? What if they go?
He's a traveler.
Personnel. What if they go 2 tight end?
That's a good one.
So I wonder how they're going to use Trill Williams because I feel like they're. I mean, they have said that they're trying to convert him to safety, right?
He could be another one. He could be one that because he's physical. Trill Williams is physical, bro. He's big and physical.
That's what I'm saying. Against a tight end, he's perfect.
And I'll never forget what what's his name? Who's that? Eric Rowe said. He said one thing that he learned by covering tight ends is they're not the best route runners, so it was so much easier. The game kind of slowed down for him because covering tight ends are so much easier than covering wide receivers.
Especially Gesicki. Right. He's freaking.
I tell you what, his route running is exceptional if we're talking tight end, but if we're talking slot receiver, then I think his route running sucks.
I think New England might run a double tight end set each time for the most part because of Gesicki being there.
Who's their other now? Hunter Henry?
Henry will be the other guy. Yep. I think Belichick most likely going to run.
You think they might use Gesicki in the Aaron Hernandez role, running out of the backfield?
Running out of the backfield, and then what's his name going to be? Gronk? Yeah. That's crazy.
And their defense is still good too because they just added the rookie Gonzalez.
That was he had the fastest 40 time.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah, he had the fastest 40 time. I think like a 4.2 something. It was ridiculous. But yeah, he'll be back, so it'll be interesting to see how everything shapes out. That's early in the season too. Game 2.
I've been telling people
we'll see Gesicki right away.
I've been telling everyone those first 4 games is so crucial. Like I think everyone's taking them lightly, but it's like that's going to tell us how our season's going to go, and that's going to tell us how healthy Tua is really going to be.
Yeah. At least most likely he's going to play all 4 games. Then we'll get a gauge on how we stand up against the rest of the competition.
Yeah.
Most likely he'll play all 4. At least those games he'll be in.
Yeah.
Nothing else is guaranteed, but most likely he'll play all 4 of those games. So.
Anyway, it's about to be 2 a.m. I'm about to wrap this thing up. I'm proud that 1, we had a civil discussion. Number 2, we didn't talk about aliens and AI in this episode. So I think it went pretty well today.
Aliens.
So anybody want to give final thoughts before we get out of here?
Nah,
good boys. No, I was gonna say TDR Benjamin, pretty good. Nice having a nice discussion. Dolphin talk. It's the silly season,
Oh, by the way,
it's all
TDR,
good. Benjamin, I added you on the Twitter thing. I saw that you put me on your thing, so I added you back.
Okay,
I added you back today.
Hey, TDR, you still I was smoking this. I forgot what it was, the name of it, bro. I can't really rename it, but that shit was rum infused Oh man, it was probably like the best fucking cigar I've had in my life, bro. I'm addicted to those things. I gotta get more of them.
Damn, you got to get the name. What is it? Local?
I don't know. It's my brother gets them through these through this cigar club, whatever. So I'm gonna be ordering some more soon.
What is it called?
Hold on, I think I have the ring here somewhere.
Classic Cuban cigars.
No, the thing about it is it was in cursive. So next time you see me, I'll get the name for you though.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Oh, by the way, you follow me on Twitter, right? I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Next time, I'll take a picture of it and post it on your Twitter, bro.
Cool, man.
But dude. The thing had when I was smoking it, it kind of had like that. You could have as crazy as it may sound, but it was like hints of banana nut bread, bro. It was amazing.
Dude, it's wild what they can do with cigars, just simply mixing tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of flavor in tobacco, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was because of the rum infusion.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of had like that bamboo taste. You've ever had bamboo? You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, I'm definitely down. Yeah, let me know if you find the ring, because I'm interested for sure.
Yeah. So, how about Benjamin? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, no, I enjoyed my time with you guys debating with everybody. Yeah, I'm looking forward to being back. I know it's a time off during the season, but I think this is when you have the best conversations. When you really, before the season comes, you really can dive in on what's really going on. So,
all right. So anyway, before we head out next week, like I said, you're not gonna want to miss it. It's with myself, Wooback, and Q. We're gonna be doing the NFL players of Samoan descent, and we're gonna be talking about kind of like Tua's heritage and trying to get to understand, Tua's mind, his background. So it'll help get us a better understanding of why he does what he does. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, man,
wait, when did you say that was, Shake?
This Saturday at 10:00.
Okay, dope.
And then Monday Dr. Reginald Brown, he played for the Detroit Lions, not Detroit Lions, Houston Oilers. We're going to be breaking down the wide receiver room and cornerback room. So that's going to be another one that you don't want to miss. And then, of course, Wednesday, we have another Smoke Lounge with the West Coast Dolphins YouTube channel. They're trying to be up. And you know what I'm saying? So salute to you, brother EM. So anyway, with that being said, I want to wish everybody a good night. Thank you for participating. Thank you, EM. Thank you, Big Nick. Thank you, of course, you, Dolphins Realtor. Thank you, Benjamin. Once again, I love the fact that you bring very knowledgeable information. Thank you, Crypto, for breaking my eardrums. And, of course, thank you, Irving.
My apologies, Shake, buddy.
You good, bro. You good, bro.
My decibel level gets solid, gets to another octave.
You know, I have nothing but love for you, bro. So, you know what I'm saying?
It's all passion, man.
I never want you to change for one bit, bro. But anyway, anybody I forgot, I apologize, but I do thank everybody who came up and participated, even the Bills fans. Y'all have a good night, and peace.
All right, boys.